We'll be playing all the way to the grand finals. Bit of a prize pool differential. And here we go. We've got Agent Select on screen. 100 Thieves will be starting things off defensively. NRG on the attack have already fully locked, and that's about what we expect. Again, with Android in the mix, you figure he's going to be playing a duelist, and why not just go ahead and put him right back where he's comfortable on the Phoenix.
So straight away, Steel locking in the Cypher as expected. Again, he's moved towards the Cypher now. Ethan going to Omen as expected. Nitro hovering over the breach. Now, that could be a real pick. Hiko's obviously going over the Sova, so don't get baited by the Reyna, Yoru hovers, nothing like that. And straight away, here it is. The no jet composition as teased, as potentially expected. Hiko will 100% lock in Sova. Don't worry about it. I know he's teasing a lot, but what my biggest question mark was going to be is, what does Asuna play? What does Nitro play? Maybe less so for Asuna because we know he's already going to be on a duel list. Raze is very much a comfort pick for him. Nitro was the bigger question mark. Was Nitro thinking about possibly going towards the Jet? The question gets answered, no. He's playing flex, he's playing more supportive, he's playing more of a Nitro-based role, which probably isn't going to be the duelist. He's going to lock in the breach. If it wasn't the breach, you could be looking at something more like, you know, a Sage. You could be looking at something, you know, more moving towards another supportive role, like something that we don't even expect. Could it be a second Sentinel? Could it be something else? But it is going to be the breach. I think a pretty smart pick here for 100 Thieves, and now finally getting into the game.
All right, well, we'll take a look here, and I get the question I think this kind of will have to come back to answer is, will there be any disadvantage to not having a Jet on this map against the obvious Shanks pick that has come through? Will that operator maybe be a difference? Yeah, that's what I was going to say, was what's going to happen with that operator if there is one picked up for 100 Thieves here. So a lot of questions to consider, but we'll hold our tongues for now as we look forward to the pistol.
I think this is going to be 100 Thieves once they get into the gun rounds, not really thinking too hard about the operators right now. They are going to be playing more of, you know, full rifles, using a lot of utility. They got a lot of extra utility. NRG straight away on towards B. Camera from Steel should spot this one out. You already see the smokes coming in, and nearby is the rest of 100 Thieves with the aftershock as well.
That actually does force the Spike to have to fade away, taken down very low with Shanks, down to red HP. And so the initial attempt for NRG's quick play through B has been denied. Not penalized as of yet, but Steel is considering that as he was maybe thinking about trying to get behind this play. Ethan, new guy in the block here, seeing what he could do, and it looks like 100 Thieves will allow this plant to happen at C and try to play for a retake. It's going to have to come through the defensive spawn or through garage, depending on what they're able to find with the Aldrum, which they do get a tag out of one. Ethan for his first official kill here in the VCT, but it is an even 4v4. And now it comes down to Steel. His timing, could it be good? No, not the case. Sam and EU able to find one. And, well, that might be enough. 3v2 situation. Still trying to work their way through the dirt cover. Will be denied. Ethan, last player left alive, and NRG lock things down, denying the retake, and they win the pistol.
Low HP for EU, but he survives, and Dap drops the tag, and on towards Ethan as well. Yeah, here we go. Welcome to VCT, fella. This is what we're talking about. And NRG picking up the early pistol. I'm sure 100 Thieves will respond in kind at some point as we head towards the eventual gun rounds. EU is going to go for an instant Phantom by Android. Just sticking on towards the Sheriff for now, and I wouldn't be surprised if Android is going to look to play a little bit more aggressively this particular round. He's only got no kills and one ult charge after dying early, so slow start for Android so far. It's just the one round, so nothing to write home about. 3 Spectres, 1 Phantom, looking pretty good for NRG. 100 Thieves not going to force anything here. Obviously, we're out of this thing of meta. Walk down C as well.
Yeah, aggression from both sides. C-Long and A-Long have gotten a lot of pressure from 100 Thieves. The initial engagement through C-Long, well, it was an even exchange. Android having to respond to Hiko, who was pushing up over towards the A lobby, will also fall. So an opportunity here for NRG to be up in a 4v3, but you also have to keep in mind that 2 players for 100 Thieves are down to 1 bullet.
Really good from Daps as well, just to keep people interested from 100 Thieves over towards A. In fact, they're so interested. Nitro's going to be rotating over. He was thinking about it, but after 100 Thieves have maybe confirmed that lobby is clear, hearing some footsteps now as well, Nitro's got to say, you got to come over. Daps would potentially come up for a large number of picks. He's got 150 HP. I don't think he should lose this one. He won't. Double kill here. Nitro on 1 HP. He'll get cleaned up, and the NRG should be able to walk away with 4 alive.
Got to admire the creativity from 100 Thieves, though. Double outer pushes coming through both C and A long. Initial success, at least kind of tempered from 100 Thieves through their push through C. It never really got off the ground, as you see, though, over by A, all 3 members falling pretty quickly. So Nitro on 7 health. He has collected a Spectre. Opportunity for him to try to escape and bring this into round number 3, and that would, I think, be the expectation.
He's trying to save the Spectre. No, going for an exit here. Just looking for timing, you know, timing to see if someone from NRG was going to walk away and not check as they run out, maybe with a knife out or something like that. Nitro isn't going to get lucky. Here's the real round, though. I think now this is going to be what we've been waiting for as an audience. I think it's the expected gun round for 100 Thieves. Okay, they lose the pistol. Doesn't go their way. They're not going to get too much done in the anti-eco. Daps gets a nice cleanup, keeps people interested over towards A, as was said. But the real test is going to be how do 100 Thieves now handle this actual gun round. And it's going to be a tough gun round because look at the buys here. There's actually 3 rifles online for NRG and still money. They got money to buy even after this if they lose. So this is one of the more powerful bonus rounds that we've seen so far.
Yeah, NRG with, remember, EU able to bring the Phantom into the mix for round number 2, and Android staying on a Sheriff. A lot of players able to upgrade into those rifles. Nitro, I think he actually missed cues on the Aftershock. It does get an elimination, but the spike is planted. So NRG's post-plant will start to get set up, largely through the B window, but there is one player lurking inside the site by the gong. That will be Shanks. EU here with him, and well, Steel finds the timing, but EU clears a different side. Steel trying to toggle for the spike defusal, but Sam on the site, he's done well to find a couple. Last player is Android. Still has a Hot Hands available, has to win the gunfight, finds the first. Hot Hands comes through. Will there be enough damage here for him to find the kill? There will be, but Nitro finds the kill, and there's plenty of time for him to allow this Hot Hands to dissipate and get the defuse.
Massive kill over towards Shanks at the back side as well, near the gong. A little surprised that NRG actually go for a, you know, close hold in the post plant for B. Usually for the post plant of B, you would kind of just scatter back onto the open. You would be playing for window, you'd be playing for grass here, controlling double doors, spamming through the smoke, planting fairly open onto B as well so that people in the window can see. But a lot of players from NRG actually held very close on site, including the really, I think, big kill on the Shanks who got found out there. And a massive aftershock from Nitro as well onto Daps early on. I thought Daps was maybe going to get out alive. The timing looked like it was going to be in his favor. He only dropped the Spectre, so not the worst death that I think the NRG could have lost there, but enough that the 4v5 ends up being too much for NRG to come back from. And here we go. 100 Thieves will pick up the 3rd round here with the gun round, but at a pretty big cost because they lose 4 people.
Yeah. Shanks has also been able to earn the Blade Storm, so he brings that out immediately for round number 4. You also have the potential of a run it back for Android. On the opposite side, Rolling Thunder could potentially be used to either deny the plant or enable a retake if required. And for NRG, they're really not making a decision as of yet. And you have to keep in mind that Shanks is the one who has the spike in hand. So it's going to come down to really what his play call will be, you feel like, with this Blade Storm still out.
It's double Guardians, by the way, on Hiko and Ethan, so I don't know if that's going to affect their retake ability, and it is going to have to be the Rolling Thunder retake now. Steel by his lonesome over towards A. You got a lot of 100 Thieves leaning heavily onto C, a couple members close by in the garage window as well. And as the sparks start to fly here with the smokes coming out, they know it's for sure going to be over towards A. All the rotations coming on through. Steel just has to stay alive.
He does get a bit of information off the trap wire. Shock darts are going to be there, still trying to deny the plant, but is not going to be able to do much besides just spam shots at the dark cover, in which he actually gets tagged up pretty heavily. So on the way over is Nitro, sitting just outside the B link. There's the Rolling Thunder coming through. Paint shells, blast pack. Here comes the retake very quick, and goodness, the space cleared from Asuna's. Nasty finds himself 1 elimination. Does he expect the second? Maybe, but EU still finds the kill, but nobody is playing for the defense of the actual plan itself, and 100 Thieves just stick it. Find the easy defuse.
I mean, if they just basically, that's an entire bluff. It's just like, I'm gonna, oh, you know, I got great cards in my hand here. I'm just gonna go for the defuse. And you look at NRG, typically what happens, the first tap in that scenario is probably the fake one. They probably think it's gonna be fake NRG. You're like, there's no way he's actually sticking it. He was. Steel completely just outbrains NRG there. Asuna, by the way, taking a lot of space early. They clear the side, obviously coming through from the Rolling Thunder as well, as you'd expect. And just jumping straight into the spike is something that NRG wasn't prepared for. They didn't think that Steel was going to stick it, and they get punished for it.
Bomb? Ooh, maybe considered for a second, but Asuna is going to use the double blast pack just to make sure he can get right into heaven to deny that stick of the From the Shadows. NRG do read a bit of information off of that, though, and it looks like they will still posture for a plot over towards A.
And A is really empty, but NRG don't know it. They have no intel. They have no idea that it's going to be a free site. You can see the coverage over towards C is heavy. I mean, there's 3 members there. You have camera defensively from Steel. Trap wire over on B as well. Nitro nearby. A very defensive safe trap. I mean, look at the other trap over onto A Link. That's a very unusual trap coming through from Steel. At this point in time, I think both Steel and Nitro are sensing a little bit of danger over towards A. They heard the gunshots, and the rest of the rotation should come on through now.
Look, they're the only two players that are here, and they're the only two players that will be here for some time. And even beyond that, Steel doesn't just get taken down. There was also a significant amount of damage that got into Nitro's body. So he's tagged down low. Boombot will be the first one forward. That will be denied. Information that there are players over towards Hell. The Hot Hands will stall this retake attempt pretty quickly. Oh, now the aftershock comes through, but as soon as he does get flashed and hit by a recon bolt, but the take is still pretty solid as Asano finds two. Now EU trying to hold things up with Shanks, and so far successful. Time becoming a problem. 2v2. Nitro with his second elimination. Daps responds to the first. Not going to get the second, but time is a problem, and Nitro's going to try to stick this. It'll be close.
No, I'm pretty sure he's got it. He's barely got this one. It will be 100 Thieves for sure. And NRG not going to please with that round. It's a slow start from Android. He fails to take down the recon, and the recon from Hiko gets massive value. Just reveals the entire team. NRG just can't get the counter trades. Android is sitting at the bottom of the scoreboard 3 and 4. He was one of the players revealed by the recon and instantly take him down. It just hasn't really found value at Nitro. Now for more than a few rounds, getting massive value, just the kills coming on through. He's 8 and 2s, nearly onto the second Rolling Thunder as well. The rest of 100 Thieves are looking pretty in terms of where their kills and in terms of where the ultimates are as well. And NRG, after another plant, just cannot win in the post plant. These post plants, at least 2 in a row now, have just been really unfortunate to see.
You just think about what the difference of the scoreboard could have been with, talk about 100 Thieves sticking the first defuse, winning a last-second take here, and also denying, like you mentioned, over towards Biasana. Oh my goodness, how has he avoided being seen by anybody from NRG? Gonna go straight to a showstopper, not gonna get the kill on Andrew, but a lot of damage will be there. The trade eventually comes into play, but it is NRG who comes overall on top. 3v2 situation to the spike. Should be able to make its way onto C, but hold the phone. They're gonna call for a quick rotate as look who's lurking over by A.
I thought someone was maybe going to stay here just to lurk a little bit further, get a free kill into Nitro. He's checking sight now, knows no one's there. At this point, the rest of 100 Thieves, and when I say the rest, I just mean Hiko. He is the rest of 100 Thieves right now. He's going to have to slowly make his way over towards A. They can't really do anything until both Nitro and Hiko are at least working together. They won't be together in terms of working next to each other, but they'll be able to still contest the site at the same time once Nitro can get his way over through long A. Currently, Hiko is potentially going to reveal his positioning. He's already throwing some utility out, has full utility in terms of Hunter's Fury. Second shot that's going to come on through. Big kill from Nitro, and this is what can give 100 Thieves a leg up.
There are no Cypher trap wires placed on that back flank, so you have to commit someone to watching it if you're NRG, and that is a brilliant punish. But the time could be the biggest opponent here for this retake. Hunter's Fury has been earned. Daps is sneaking his way up the heaven stairs. But will he get timing on this? Out the window goes Hiko. Does he ever expect that a player is now up top in heaven? Apparently not, as Daps finds the kill. Hiko in a really tough position, and he will be scouted out by a recon bolt. Not enough time, like you mentioned, for the defusal. Just hoping for a couple of kills. Not able to find anything there, and NRG able to tie things up 3-3, even though Daps falls after the detonation coming in.
So Hiko tapping the spike there just guarantees that at least one more player is going to stick around and try and get the kill there, and then Daps will be the one that falls, like you sort of mentioned. And finally, we see a decent post plant coming through from NRG. I think courtesy of Som for the most part as well as the entry going in towards Garage, having the ability to get the counter trades in. Som coming through from C long, wasn't really checked, wasn't prepared for, so Ethan gets taken down from behind, and the rest of 100 Thieves, Nitro and Hiko try to make the play happen still over towards A with the double entry, one coming through from A long, the other one from Heaven. Nitro with the opening pick was decent, but now we head into round number 7. Not a good buy for 100 Thieves, but they do have ultimates to play with, so if they get some guns, this round is actually doable.
I mean, it's only, I think, 2 ghosts I saw there for a moment. This is already a different full eco from 100 Thieves not getting aggressive. Instead, they're going to full stack over towards middle. They're able to get a nice flashpoint breakthrough for one. Still finds the second. EU desperately trying to hold on. And he's actually getting a fault line for a moment, but he's still able to find their eliminations. But the rifles have been collected, and 100 Thieves, they're all of a sudden in a position where, well, it was a 2v1. EU just, again, scratching and clawing his way, trying to survive, has made things down to a 1v1 situation, but only 34 HP to play with.
Hiko's got everything here as well. Aside from the 2 shocks, he's got full utility. We'll find guns on the floor as well. probably looking for something better than a Spectre. There will be something better than a Spectre on the ground once he realizes the entire mid area is clear. At this point, he's got to know it'll be A plant or C plant. He's just waiting for the retake. Now, both players have Hunter's Fury available. I'm just going to say this as well, but EU being on 34 means Hiko only needs one shot coming through from the Hunter's Fury to be effective. So this is going to come down to where the knowledge is. How big are the brains on both the Sova players? Early recon's going to come through onto site itself, and you can see how far away EU is going to be playing. The issue here is if EU goes for a Hunter's Fury first and Hiko counters with his own Hunter's Fury and connects, that's the round over.
Toggle the spike. EU not going to play for the Hunter's Fury, but does get shrugged off the angle. Hiko wants to challenge, but now has to reconsider. As he will come over, EU will connect on one and the second. Hiko never was able to pull out the Hunter's Fury. Time may be a consideration, but EU saves the round for NRG with 4 kills. But still, at the end of the day, only buying 2 ghosts, you're probably still smirking a little bit if you're a 100 Thieves fan off that round.
Yeah, I think that's a very successful round of 100 Thieves despite losing. I think it comes down to the 1v1, a lot of kills early on. You're looking at how many ultimates are available, 100 Thieves as well. The aggression coming through the main. I think talking point about this 100 Thieves sort of aggression coming through onto B on the grass is the fact that they don't have a jet. Usually be a flash and dash, but here it's just like a flash and swing. Flash and then 3 people swing on towards grass and just hope to get as many kills as possible. And they got better than that. They got 4 kills in the final 1v1. Time became a bit of an issue. Ethan spots, I think, a lot of players here. So won't be surprised if they call for a few rotations. Now Ethan will be finally in a position to really see what he's made of here, as well as he's still looking to really make his name on the kill feed happen.
Yeah, plenty of help, though, in the mix as Hiko is here to assist if required. Also, Asuna playing through C Garage would be there. So NRG just try to scout things out, maybe throw out a little bit of utility to see what they can bait. And now they make their move as all 5 members start to crawl their way forward through A. You also need to notice that there are trap wires now potentially guarding this flank for NRG, which is something they missed one of the last times they came this way.
Steel's pretty far up here as well. He's got a cage nearby, so he'll be able to get himself out. Won't cage too early. He doesn't know there's like 3 people there, but they're all flashed out. Android still gets the kill. Rolling Thunder now to stop the rest of NRG from pushing up, and that will slow things down considerably. Ethan on the back lines, by the way. Ethan used from the shadows. He could get a flank going, and the rest of 100 Thieves need to arrive very soon because the plant's going to come in.
The flash play from NRG, successful. Paranoia and the curveball used. Hiko not going to connect off of his first 200's Fury shots. The third one also missing a bit wide. Ethan on the flank has dealt with 1 player, but this is, of course, Android responding as required to make sure that he does not make any further attempts. So 100 Thieves retake will have to largely wait until they find success from the front. Paranoia comes out. Oh, and oh my goodness, Android gets baited by from the shadows. What in the world happened right there? 1-for-1 exchange. Time now again becoming a bit of a problem for 100 Thieves, but they're on the full surround. Som right on top of the spike site. We'll see 1 player. Shank's able to assist onto Ethan. Last hope comes down to Hiko. He will find the first, but time becoming an issue. And now as he gives up the full defuse. Wait, no, not going to be there. I was going to say, goodness gracious.
Oh my god. That's a heart attack and a half there. I got to say, I think NRG, they're kind of fortunate to win that round because Android, you talk about the From the Shadows, he got baited by his own teammates from the Shadows. That was Som's From the Shadows, not Ethan's. Ethan already used his. Som used From the Shadows, his own teammate from the Shadows, in towards A-Long. Android, like, just flicks onto it because he's like, what is going on? And at the exact same timing, Ethan crosses with util out, and Android dies to him. So that is super unlucky, but also at the same time, like, what is going on with this NRG squad? If it wasn't for the fact that time runs out there, Hiko had that. I mean, Hiko finding the last kill, didn't have time to defuse, but a huge play regardless, and 100 Thieves keeping every single round close. Now, they are down by 2, but there's been a lot of rebuys here. That's why you look at NRG, despite them winning more rounds, they just don't have money. They're still playing with, you know, broken armor, Stinger on Shanks, not looking the best.
Yeah, I don't know if we've seen a truly full-forced, all 10 players bringing rifles into the mix yet. And we're 8 rounds in, going into number 9. NRG, again, just passively playing through the middle of the map, trying to see if they can catch 100 Thieves doing anything cheeky. That will not occur here. And as the spike is collected, it looks like they're going to be trusting the information from Daps. And also EU with his utility to see what exactly is over here at A, which has been, it seems to be their preferred spike site when it comes to their executes.
They've gone there pretty much every single time, and they've gone C a couple times, but kind of just a fake. It wasn't ready to commit. Here we go. Should be, I was going to say a freebie for Shanks, but Asuna gets the double dink, responded by Android onto Steel, but that's at least going to be a free gun for Asuna to be able to rotate on towards A. So possible hero rifle that they can really use in the retake. Not a lot of HP though. Nitro in the long range with the Bucky not going to be good enough. And here comes a potential kill from Som, or just miss a couple more shots, but the plant will come on through regardless. And 100 Thieves don't have the HP.
Paint shells will deal a bit of chip damage, might make life a touch easier. Daps is also going to commit to getting the neural. Watch out for the boom block. Oh, it's going to come off the corner and Daps will fall. Opportunity still alive for 100 Thieves retake. How do they continue to be allowed to do this? Som in the corner. He finds one. Not the second, but the trade is there. And these are just getting way too close for comfort if you're an NRG fan, I feel like, even though you're up 6-3.
I mean, how many rounds now? How many rounds for NRG come down to like a final 1v1 there? And even in those 1v1s as well, it's just like, I mean, Hiko has the ability to win them at least in terms of getting the kill. Like, you know, sure, we can talk about time, but it's the kind of problem where NRG can't get an economy going. I mean, just look at the guns again. It's Daps now on a Spectre. Android can't afford armor. You know, every single round with pretty much the whole team dying. Now, actually, 100 Thieves are in a position where they might have more utility here. They might have more to play with here. You don't have full armor on Nitro, but aside from that, it's looking pretty decent.
Same opening that we saw from the initial round for NRG, straightforward. Actually, Shanks misses his first updraft, trying to get on top of this B site, but he still will get here. Trying to clear out over through C-Link. Aftershock again coming into play. Decent damage from 100 Thieves overall, and again, it denies the ability for NRG to plant. So that's 2 straight rounds that we've seen them try to go to B quickly. And they do force out a little bit of utility, but the damage is just so much more beneficial for 100 Thieves overall, including now even the first blood.
And straight back to A we go. NRG's preferred site so far. I mean, they'll default on other parts of the map. Ethan, he hasn't had kills because no one goes C. Here we go, Asuna probably looking for 2. Somehow misses, so that one's an official Rosa ult for sure. Very low HP for a few members of NRG. Shanks will get a kill, and we even up 4-4.
A lot of damage still was confirmed on the backhand of that showstopper. 4v3 for 100 Thieves, but NRG do successfully get the plant. Knowing that there's a player up top in Heaven, he's able to find the first, Som the second, but Ethan's on the way in. Shanks misses the right click, but is able to create a bit of space. Still 2v2, very doable here. Ethan for one, not gonna get the snap on the EU. Now down to Hiko, no chance there. EU crouches under for his 3rd kill, and NRG again in a last 1v1 find the W, and they now go up by 4, 7-3.
Chef, I have to start asking the question. I have to start wondering, like, it's good that 100 Thieves are keeping this close in terms of the player numbers, but the score is not close at all in terms of 3-7. In terms of looking at how this half has gone, there's 2 more chances for 100 Thieves to maybe finish out 5-7. At this point in time, does 100 Thieves maybe want to think about putting more presence over towards A? NRG have gone A so many times now that 100 Thieves have to start thinking about, you know, their setup here. Is something's going wrong on A? So they have 3 starting on A now, which is probably, you know, you would say an overcommitment, but at this stage they've lost enough times that they have to do something different. Maybe we'll see Ethan get into a little bit more action, because this time NRG are now moving up to C, and close has not been good enough. 100 Thieves take it down to 1v1, but they haven't won those 1v1s and haven't won the rounds.
And NRG, to be fair, have been trying to keep the 100 Thieves defense honest by throwing the same utility over to C, but this time they'll commit through it. Android curveball coming out, not going to get the timing to peek over towards the 100T defensive spawn. Watch the long play from Asuda as well. He's going to be making his way around the back. EU would be the first point of contact for him. There's also a trap wire to keep things safe, as NRG will put themselves in a position to set up their post plant safely through C long. Asuda is going to recognize that there are way too many contestants, and he will come over. Som's going to commit to from the shadows into B. 100T has still not made their way onto site. Here comes the utility. That will be the play forward, but you've got Som lurking behind it. Not going to be able to confirm a kill. Maybe a missed opportunity. House enough for one, steal another. And how about the 3rd for 100 Thieves? They make their way on brilliantly. Nitro to play a little bit of cannon fodder up front. They cleanly retake. Are you oh my goodness.
Time.
Is it going to get there? Sure will. Last second retake, good from 100 Thieves again.
Wow.
Last round before the switch.
You know what would have been really heartbreaking? What would have been extraordinarily heartbreaking is if there wasn't enough time there, because the rest of the retake was looking pretty good. 4 members of 100 Thieves, I believe, on minimal HP. Some, unfortunately, using from the shadows to flank over towards B, not finding a value. If he even just gets Nitro down, gets something done there, has a bit more presence, forces 100 Thieves to deal with them, that could have been a more doable round for NRG. The fact that it comes down to minimal time difference between Spike Detonation and Spike Defuse means just one extra thing going right in favor of NRG could have been the play. 100 Thieves this time will get a little bit more aggressive over towards C long. Asuna will be checking over towards A long as well. Ethan has cleared C. That's going to allow Steel now to rotate off, and I think 100 Thieves know it's definitely A.
Yeah, there's a lot of information here, but caught with a flashpoint out is Nitro. Asuna's good for 1, but the trade is immediately there. Hunter's Fury also trying to get into play, and it will find a bit of damage, but no elimination. So after everything's all said and done, it's a 4v3 in favor of NRG to get the spike planted. But you do have the ability for 100 Thieves to continue to try to play a retake from the flank. Run it back will also be spent. That's instantly denied by Hiko. And Ethan will reconsider his flank play as he rotates right back through middle to join 100 Thieves on this retake attempt from the front. Steel already in. And the shock dart from Hiko finds the kill. Recon Bolt finds absolutely nothing. Through the dark covers we go. Android good for 1, but it's another 2v2. Hunter's Fury gonna come out, trying to deny the spike defusal, and it finds elimination. Halfway done. Ethan trying to stick, does not fully hold it, and Shakes will find the kill. NRG will exit the half 8-4. We've got a whole tons to take away from the first.
Absolutely. I mean, you've just to break down even that last round, a lot happened there. Some, or rather not some, but Ethan using the teleport from the shadows to go over towards long A, then getting cold feet. I actually think he should have stayed there. If he stays long A and prevents EU from getting a free Hunter's Fury, and I think they got a much better chance to win that round. Just being a threat over towards A is very important for 100 Thieves. But because, you know, you have kind of cold feet coming through from Ethan, rejoining Hiko, rejoining the team over towards A main in terms of defense on Link, that kind of gives EU freedom to just do whatever he wants. And, you know, triple tag on the Hunter's Fury is what gives them that round and gives NRG the 8-4 lead after our opening half. And how many rounds spent? Like 3-4 rounds where it came down to 1v1, and 100 Thieves could not collect those. So they got a lot of work to do now in the second half.
Yeah, at least 3 or 4, if not maybe more than that. And I'll say this much, 100 Thieves have been doing an excellent amount of work with Nitro on this breach so far. He's opened up so much space, largely in combination with Steel. Can they find that same success, though, offensively is the real question. They're going to be taking a surround hit over towards A, in which Daps has been allowed to exist up top in heaven. The spy cam will tag 1. Long-range shots, though, will force him away. And now you turn your attention over to NRG's flank attempt. Steel here in combination with Hiko. Nice. Beautiful first shot from Hiko. And I think he realizes that no way is this the only player that's in the mix. Wide peek will get information that Android's here. He will find a counter trade, but NRG's defense on the retake from the front much more successful, and it comes just down to Steel for a 1v4.
Yep, and now Steel just looking for 1 kill here, misses all the shots, and E will pick that one up for, I believe, his second so far this round. Some got a few as well. Some go for the defuse. So what are we doing? Rushing potentially from the shadows here. I mean, at this point in time, you can be pretty greedy with who you actually want to give the last ult orb to in terms of the actual defuse. Let's take a look at how we are on the scoreboard here. 3-7 for EU, 2-7 for Som. Android got a kill there into Hiko as well. Not a lot of action coming through from 100 Thieves, and I actually potentially think that this could be a round that maybe 100 Thieves have to think about forcing. They don't look like... No, they are. Here we go. 100 Thieves have got to force. And the reason for this is because they've just dropped too many rounds here, Shift. So at this point in time, you lose this one. If you don't force here, you give away this to NRG. You go 4-10. It's not comfortable. For you to actually win, I think, this map, 100 Thieves have to force, and they would have to kind of win on this force as well.
All right. So must-win round here in Avril's mind. I would concur that it looks to be the case. You just can't be going on 4-10. Offensively on Haven so far, this has been 100 Thieves historically best side, but again, those stats I think all have an asterisk next to them, considering the fact that you are looking at essentially what is a brand new 100 Thieves with so many role swaps that have come into play just with Ethan joining this roster. We'll get Steel trying to continue to put pressure over towards A, just seeing if he can lurk and find any information whatsoever, but NRG have rotated over in numbers to play either around B or most specifically through the C garage.
And I gotta say as well, without Jet here, it's hard to make some fast executes happen. Usually with the Jet, the strategy is to basically smoke and dash. You would put a cloud burst down to side, dash into it, and that gets your initial entry. That makes things very difficult for the defenders once you have to deal with the Jet as well as everyone else coming through. This kind of lineup here coming through for 100 Thieves, despite them only making one roster swap and 2 role swaps, or maybe just the 1 role swap, it feels like a totally different team because with Dicey, you had that Jet pressure. Without Dicey and no Jet, you just don't have that available for your team currently, so it plays like a very different team, which is why 100 Thieves right now super slowly. We're on to site, but there's like about 20 seconds left.
Oh, lots of information off the recon bolt, but Daps is not in a position to take advantage of it. So NRG will have to forfeit and then play the retake. Keep in mind, you've got Ethan on a long flank, but will he actually be here in time? Because Shanks is already on the way in. I think he got body blocked by a steal and recognized his movement was not as smooth as he would normally anticipate. Good trades, though, for 100 Thieves, and as EU tries to make a play, he gets shut down even before Ethan's full flank is there, so it's actually a Sheriff shot through the wall that confirms the elimination, and 100 Thieves on the force buy will successfully take their 5th round.
Yeah, really important force buy here as well. Let's, really get a cap of what NRG's situation for Eco here as well, because they do lose that very pivotal 2nd round. And that is going to screw their economy at least a little bit going into the 2nd half. Now, 100 Thieves will buy themselves extra time much needed. So I did say for 100 Thieves to really win this map and make a comeback happen, the force buy needed to come through and it needed to work out. So that's happened so far. So not quite sure what NRG's buy is so far this round. I can't imagine it's great. They're stacking heavily on towards A as well, except for Som, who's playing over towards B. Doesn't see anything early on, only has a Sheriff. So definitely not a good buy from NRG at all. 100 Thieves should be able to convert this into a round number 6, and then we head into the gun rounds after that.
Well, could be a point of contact here for Steel, and, well, the point of contact would very much so favor NRG with at least the numbers. One on either corner. Taps playing a little bit deeper just in case. Is a shoulder scene? Yes, it is. Steel hoping to get something connect with his Bucky. Curveball, oh boy, he's still alive. Nearly gets a second. If he does, I lose my lid, but the trade will be there, and we'll go 4v4 with 60 seconds to go.
Yeah, lid stays on, and so does the defensive A site so far, plus a Bucky upgrade. Not the best upgrade, but you'll take anything right now. Give that one for a teammate, maybe. The Sheriff is still pretty strong for our Phoenix player of Android here, as 100 Thieves get C for free. They have ultimates available as well. So 2nd time in a row here for Nitro, where he gets a very fast Rolling Thunder. That's massive by Nitro in terms of timing for ultimates, to do that twice in a row in 2 different halves. Probably won't have to use it here. He would only use it if they really start losing control site. Ideally, he'd like to save the Rolling Thunder for the next round, and trying to just hold on to this garage control as well. Ethan will be first contact, sees a leg, probably gets a kill. They have revealed each other's positioning, and Nitro swings.
Oh, but Nitro. Can he hold on to this Vandal? He gets the aftershock out. Will not be a challenge initially for NRG, and now Nitro turns his attention back towards grass. And NRG, of course, giving up on the play for the defuse, just trying to play for maybe an exit kill or two. Just comes down to the timing of it. And
it's not even exits, though.
Yeah, this is
like
very
in the middle
passive.
Of nowhere. They don't have guns. There's nothing to save here, so unless they're trying to save the upgraded weapons.
Whoa!
Oh my god. Okay, hang on a second. Forget that. I'm just going to shut up for a second, because in the final, 2 seconds where the smoke comes down, 100 Thieves are like, there's no way. There's no way NRG should walk into us. I hear the footsteps, but this is not going to happen. Surely they don't just run at us and suddenly get 3 kills, 3 taps with the Sheriff, and Som's like, yeah, bet, and comes and gets all the guns, and that's actually pretty deadly in terms of economy shift.
This is like an economist's dream. This whole match has been swung back and forth so many times that it's hard to get a full read on who's winning in the economy, because even in rounds like previously we saw in NRG's offense, they had 4 in a row. Still we're not able to full afford. I mean, this has just been manipulation of pennies at this point, as Shanks is able to afford the first operator of the map. He makes use of it very early on for a first blood. Bucky's going to find a bit of damage onto Asuna as well, and 100 Thieves are caught in a 4v5 situation where largely, yeah, you've got to play maybe to get onto C, and they're actually going to commit the Rolling Thunder to get there, but the spike is not a part of this hit, so it's going to have to still be a little while before 100 Thieves will feel decent about a post plan.
And this is where things are going to get tricky as well. 100 Thieves need to be very considerate of where the rest of NRG are. They've taken so long to plant here, Shift, to the point where they're still stuck on site. This is not a good post plant. Ethan at least gets the initial kill into Android. They're fully stacked on site. Maybe they're just going to stick to this now. Maybe they're just going to stay. Might have to play through the smoke over towards Lincoln Spawn as well. Paranoia, I believe, catches 2. So let's see if NRG can make it time.
Oh, Daps able to find 2 eliminations, but now it's just down to Som. 1v1, Ethan! for 3 in the round, cleared out the defender spawn, turned his attention to make sure there was no incredible clutch for NRG, and we get down to a 2-round differential, 9-7, still in favor of NRG.
Here it is. Ethan now showing up top of the scoreboard, 13 and 12. I mean, this is not the type of game I maybe expected Asuna to be the kind of the top fragger here for the side 100 Thieves, but what an awkward kind of round here. They lose an initial play to Shanks, and I was going to mention as well, by the way, the operator does really punish the style of 100 Thieves here, where 100 Thieves are really slow defaulting. Shanks is going to have a field day with the operator if he can get into his hands again. Obviously, everyone dies, so money is not looking great, and it really hasn't looked great for either team so far in this game. Odin now coming up to play as well. So 100 Thieves, let's see if they can get more momentum off that, because they're 2 rounds away now from catching up.
Heavy commit to try to gain control of C Garage, and the blast pack has been a little annoying, I have to imagine, for Android, who's going to curveball and try to retake. Did he actually see that Asuna was playing through this dark cover initially? He's regained control, though, so for NRG, it's been an expensive kind of set of utility being used, but the defense still holding on to everywhere that they want to.
NRG don't need to do anything too special here. 100 Thieves are going to play this one slowly enough that NRG backing out as much as they are, losing as much space as they are. Usually this will get punished by another team making more aggressive pushes in. You know, at this point, NRG are kind of blind. They have Suez control a little bit here, looking over towards C as well. I don't think it spotted Ethan, so NRG are really working off no info. But 100 Thieves are also not taking space, so it's a stalemate here that actually works out for NRG because 100 Thieves haven't really moved, and that's going to be a camera misplaced by Steel, which is not ideal.
I mean, you don't have an extra 14 seconds to wait. So as the spike gets picked up, it's going to have to be just a gut check execution call to C, in which, again, you have to remember they need to re-clear Garage thanks to that early pressure from Android after everything was all said and done. Aftershock is also spent. That's a lot of post-plant tools that are now off the table for 100 Thieves. They will successfully get the plant, or will they? Hunter's Fury tags the first, stalls things out. The second attempt for the plant now coming through. Shanks is on the way. He misses the right click, and Nitro and Hiko are able to gain enough space to get the spike planted. Oh, NRG were just trying to play the clock, but it turns against them, and now they're in a 2v5.
That right-click miss can have serious implications here. It has some very dire consequences because NRG are probably not going to win this round. Android will try his best, run it back, instantly gets punished. Dabs can't get anything done towards window either, and here it is. Nitro with a 3K. Shuts down the last hopes of NRG on that round. And when I say dire consequences, I'm talking about the flow-on effect from that particular round of not winning it for NRG means no money for this round, which means they're going to have to eco, which means 100 Thieves have actually caught up now. This should be 9 on the board guaranteed. We got 9 in nights, 5 in a row for 100 Thieves. Now, if Shanks lands that right click, stops that plant coming through, there's no more time to plant. They win that round by default. They don't have to go for any other plays. They keep their guns moving. Their economy is safe. Different story. NRG goes to 10, might even confirm 11, and we're into a very different half indeed.
I mean, it's been a really tight affair. I mean, we came out of that first half with what appeared to be, at first glance, a very favorable NRG scoreboard, but a lot of those rounds were really close. And, ooh, Android actually catches a headshot through the C garage door, so he will have to back up and decide if he wants to just self-sustain himself off of the hot hands or Blaze Wall, or maybe even both, considering he was down to 23 HP.
2 ultimates up for 100 Thieves as well. Massive weapon advantage. Shanks has a Phantom and is the only member on this team that really has much to play with. 4 Sheriffs. So now, look, we've seen Sheriffs come out big. We've seen Sheriffs make some real damage happen, but NRG would have to create those brilliant moments, stacking heavily over towards, or leaning C, stacking heavily over towards C Garage. Yeah, the window, hoping 100 Thieves could come close to B, but I think 100 Thieves will be too smart for that one. They know versus Pistols, going B is probably a bad idea. Just checking there's no aggression coming through on C. They'll be leaning back over towards A, and NRG, again, just don't have info to play with. They're going to dart over towards B grass. Sees nothing. That doesn't really tell NRG much. They see a couple more members coming through from C, and that probably baits NRG to maybe stick around, see if they fall for it, which they don't look like they are. They're going to go to A.
Oh, but Asuna, he gets the diving through the B-Link. Lines up a double headshot. Nitro with the spike plant. 2v5 situation. Little good luck, have fun here for NRG, as they need to make a decision as far as how they want to try to get some exit kills here, or just eliminations in general, because like you mentioned, 100 Thieves, if they can walk away with this flawlessly, they would be in a really good spot economically, and with the hero rifle still in play for EU, looks like that will be enough for him to likely back out and just save at this point. Just down to Sam to make something interesting
No, he's
happen.
caught.
Not going to happen.
He's dead.
EU is caught, like you mentioned. The flash play. EU for the first. Needs to find more than that and just simply runs out of ammunition. So 100 Thieves will take him down. They tie this game up at 9.
I think if EU really wanted to save the rifle, he shouldn't have even gone to heaven. He should have just stayed over towards C, stayed in spawn, played very safe, not have attempted anything. To be fair, it's not the biggest loss. They can rebuy anyway, so, you know, perhaps trying to take away some guns from 100 Thieves could be worth it, but they're 5 rounds in a row, and big difference here, Chef, from what we saw previously is that 100 Thieves are not just winning by the seat of their pants. They're not just winning by the one player now. It's not a 1v1 they're winning by. They're winning convincingly enough. They built up a fair economy, and that's the biggest difference between, I think, of this half and the previous. And being at 9-9 now with massive economy advantage puts a lot of pressure onto NRG, who are basically have to win here. Showstopper coming through, does miss, not a Rose ult because it was dashed away.
But at the same point, is that opening commitment for NRG going to maybe possibly lead to a demise here? Because simply put, 100 Thieves are in a great position to still put a lot of pressure down. Hot Hands is here, also considering how he wants to use these paint shells, and you're going to get a really nice flash into the mix as well. Good shock dart placement from EU. Ethan will see that there is information down low, caught the curveball out of his hand, great, but he stays alive. Ethan's able to find the first kill. EU desperately trying to hold on, but it's also not able to find 2 kills. And with that, NRG have been bounced out of the A site, allowing Nitro to plant.
And they got to save. NRG shouldn't go for this. It's 2v4. There's a Rolling Thunder as well. I mean, if they go for this, they might be able to force out the Rolling Thunder. They kill Nitro, which is actually even better, but the tag onto Sam via the cam is definitely annoying. With this kind of 2v3 and low HP on Asuna, I think they've actually got a reasonable position now, but know that if they lose, their economy's really screwed.
2v2 all of a sudden, and Daps is making a play forward. They know exactly where Steel is playing. Daps good for the first, 30 HP. Shock dart, ooh, just barely dashed away from. Spy cam will come out. Gets the tag, tries to make the play, but Hiko denies. And 100 Thieves take the lead for the first time in a minute. 10-9 up.
And this is the 1v1 again, except this time 100 Thieves will actually win it. And looking at the fact that the rifles are gone, so this will 100% have to be an NRG save now. Be giving 11 away to 100 Thieves and hoping to be able to make, which is crazy to say, but their own comeback now in terms of they'll be 2 behind. They can definitely still force the overtime. It's very likely that 100 Thieves get 12 eventually here. I don't want to curse 100 Thieves, but I don't see them kind of not getting to 12 here. I'm not convinced they'll necessarily make 13 comfortably just yet, but 12 should be on the board. And if you can get 12, I think the 13 shouldn't be that far away.
A win condition has absolutely been established, and I think just retrospectively looking back at that first half, I mean, how close were 100 Thieves on, what, 4, 5, maybe even 6 total rounds? I mean, that goes 1 extra kill on those post-plant takes for 100 Thieves could have been that this map may already have been over. So NRG just barely hanging on, and now an opportunity in front of them to try to tie things up. But it would be a pretty incredible one, you feel like, considering the arsenal disadvantage that they're in. But Android with the judge is going to be trusted to try to lock down this first point of entry. And EU has already done some great stuff with the Sheriff. He's going to likely find some information off this recon bolt, even though it doesn't actually ping the area. I think he hears at least 2 sets of gunfire that there are players nearby.
I mean, they know it's not C, so at this point, I'm not too sure why NRG is still stacking so hard where they are. They don't have any information anywhere else. It can't be a C split because nothing's in garage. Just walking through B now, they know it's definitely not there. 100 Thieves are respecting NRG enough to even throw in the Hunters, well, not the Hunters, the Rolling Thunder, and this should result in a plant. EU needs to land a lot of damage on shocks.
Well, he does find a lot off the first, but it's still Ethan that gets first blood and then puts himself right back on for the plant. The judge play will be good, and the spike planter does get killed. It does not fully get planted. So now it's a 3v2, and Dabs at long range finds the kill into Hiko. Just down to Steel, and he's behind this entire play. He's going to have to go quickly, or NRG will tie this up off of a Thrifty. No more time to plant. Has to play for the kills and won't even be able to do that. EU shuts it up, and NRG on a Thrifty tie things at 10.
And this wasn't meant to be the round that NRG is supposed to win. They were supposed to lose this one. Allow 100 Thieves to go to 11, and then they come back after that. Maybe get 10 to 11, then get 11 to 11. Then we'll see what happens beyond that point in time. But EU holding on, doesn't die for the longest time as well. Shock's coming through. Like, yeah, the Shock doesn't get a kill. The Shock doesn't even necessarily do enough damage, but it stops the plant, it slows the plant, and just slowing the plant down allows NRG, with no holds barred, get themselves on towards A. They know they don't have the guns anyway, so they just gotta rush themselves in the retake, and it works. They get the kills, they stop the plant, and Steel is left out in the cold. And now this is NRG with the ability to make a living themselves first and foremost before 100 Thieves can get there. There's still money on both sides, still an operator for Shanks as well.
Quick hit for 100 Thieves through C, and just as the dark cover was falling, a beautiful flashpoint comes in to allow Asuna to find the first blood on the take of the C site. You have Steel lurking through grass, does not see his counterpart in Daps initially, but tries to turn his aim to him. Not going to be good for the kill. So 4v4 we go, but a post-plant setup in favor of 100 Thieves.
That's actually a huge read from Daps as well. I think a lot of teams have now wisened up to the fact that you do have a lurk coming through, but never mind that Android with a runner back will get two. So far looking pretty good. Just enough time to spot the third. Can't quite get the kill to Nitro. Tagged by a drone as well. He's been revealed.
Good flash.
So far, no one's really coming in.
Flash will allow him to get Shanks, though. 3v2 situation. Android fighting his third elimination just down to Hiko. Still has an Aldrone to play with. Sees that nobody's on the spike for now. Needs to keep his life. Finds the first kill. Gets the second. This would be a 1v3 for Hiko, but Android finds the fourth kill. Time. A problem. Does he still have it? No, he does not. Hiko clutches things up, and 100 Thieves find themselves on 11.
It was that last hot hands from Android that did it, just pulling it out, trying to get the kill onto Hiko, trying to get the damage onto Hiko, and then, oh, he just barely doesn't do it, just barely doesn't get the stick. I mean, he had to obviously shoot Hiko as well, so the couple of things there. It was initially looking really good for NRG. I mean, you have a situation where, again, Daps gets the read onto Steel. I think a lot of teams now are starting to read the fact that, yeah, Steel's going to lurk over towards mid. He's going to be lurking around a lot, so Daps tries to find the 1v1 pretty successful, looking number-wise fairly decent for NRG, but that massive, massive clutch play coming through from Hiko gives 100 Thieves another chance.
Oh, and now EU aggressive with a Hunter's Fury. The rest of his teammates pushing right through mid-grass. Shanks has made his way into the window. Android watching over towards the boxes. And you still have a player in Daps that's denying any push through a mid, and oh my goodness, 2 quick kills, and NRG say, job done. Let's just play the rest of this round out 5v3.
Asuna has to go big here. Showstopper at the ready. Doesn't know that EU's around the corner. Has to check it, and we'll lose the duel. That is going to be pretty awful for 100 Thieves. It will at least get traded by Steel, and here comes the Sewer play. Easy shot from Daps. Gets a free upgrade. Spike on the floor, and now Steel in a ton of trouble.
Has to commit to a 1v1. Otherwise, he'll be overwhelmed from behind. Oh boy. We saw aggression from 100 Thieves in the prior round. NRG say, bet, let's go our own route. Early Hunter's Fury clears space. Map take it away, and NRG convert. Now it's tied 11-11, and 100 Thieves are not in a comfortable space economically.
And this is NRG potentially on the victory path now. They just have to not throw away this round. I'll give a thrifty away to 100 Thieves. Be very clear about what 100 Thieves could do. Now, 100 Thieves haven't sped up a lot. They could speed up on this particular pistol. And actually, you have to be ready for that. Asuna can go large. That's what 100 Thieves need. They have the ultimates to play through. So all 100 Team need here is a couple of rifle upgrades on a couple of decent trades. And the ultimates could carry them through.
And take a look at this. 100 Thieves will be stacking over towards mid. NRG had an early clear, though, of A-long. 3 players stacked that direction. And with a little bit of aggression through C, they should know that this play is online. Showstopper denied. Sam finds a second. He stabs to a third. How about a fourth? No. Ethan able to keep this play alive for 100 Thieves, but at what cost? Daps now from behind. EU from the side. Easy shots there, and NRG cleanly get the retake. Oh my goodness, what an opening play, though, from Sam.
Yeah, just keeping the nerves calm there is all for NRG. Okay, we've lost B control. That's fine. Let's push into the showstopper. I think that's something that Raze players are not prepared for. The showstopper comes through. You're not expecting someone to just run at you like that. And that is the exact counterplay you need to see versus a showstopper. I mean, you can see it here again. Into the smoke. Sam's already there. Dive straight in at minimum here. Even if Asuna kills Sam, Asuna kills himself, and then Sam obviously collects the next 2 kills. Plant does come on through. Ethan trades for 1. Can't get a rifle upgrade. And map point secured by NRG now. A big round for 100 Thieves. Definitely still winnable. 3 ultimates online, but I think NRG potentially have this one off the back of a opening kill from Shanks would probably be it if someone like Steel does peek him. Steel does like to go over towards A.
He's thinking about it, but drops the trap wire at the entrance to the A lobby. Asuna has been putting a lot of pressure through C garage. This time it's not Android that's holding it. It's going to instead be EU. Sam, lots of pressure in his face, but Daps is a part of this play all of a sudden. Stays alive through the curveballs and flashpoints that are coming into play. Now it's down to Can NRG actually hold this? Another flashpoint in the mix. The reveal comes out, but oh no, Daps is fully flashed up. Pico getting the Hunter's Fury in for the elimination. It's a 4v3. Run it back in play for Android. Not going to find much, but does clear space for EU to make sure that the C site stays safe. And 100 Thieves had to reconsider with 50 seconds to play.
Yeah, and as the dust settles here as well, 100 Thieves will back on out, and the fallout of that play means that both teams are down to just 3. But it's low HP here for EU, and that could actually make the difference. You also have Shanks still kind of holding over towards A. They're not too sure. The good thing for 100 Thieves here is they can play the timer here a little bit, allow NRG to rotate out, and that's exactly what's happening. NRG have no information, and 100 Thieves, the Gambit, ends up being correct. The dart will reveal nothing. The plant will come on through, and it will have to come down to a retake.
The two duelists for NRG quickly making their way over. Nitro just has one fault line. Blades are out for Shanks. Can he make a play to try to save this? Take a 13-11. Fault line stalls the hit. Recon Bolt, as you mentioned, came through. Nitro sees a bit of information, but wants to play off the intel onto this Sova player, but it shakes over the top for one. EU considers hitting for the defusal. Eco, he finds one elimination, steals the backside, lines up the following 2, and we've got overtime. 100 Thieves, they bait the rotation, they play the timing, and this one's not done yet.
We started this map 4 and 8, with 8 being NRG's score, and it would require 100 Thieves to do a pretty monstrous comeback, and that requires them to get 8 on their half as well. They get 6 in a row from that second round in the half, and then look at this round as well. Coming down to a 3v3, I thought NRG did a great job of holding onto site there, preventing the initial plant. But then as the dust settles, as was said, when we look at the time, it's still just enough time for 100 Thieves to maybe bait out the fact and gamble the fact that, hey, they might think we're rotating here. Let's go completely quiet, just hide in garage. As long as no one checks here, we're fine. NRG go over towards A, the plant is free, and the post plant is even better. The retake not good enough. And to the OT we go. Everyone's got money, and this has been close enough that it's hard to call.
You're not going to catch me trying to make a prediction ever, I'll tell you that much. I'm just along for the ride, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. It will be NRG on the offense here. A lot of team shots were thrown Ethan's direction, tags him up a little bit, but now Steel has rotated into assist, and he will respond with some damage of his own. So once again, NRG, kind of the same setup that we saw from the first offenses. Throw out dark cover, throw a little bit of utility, see if you can maybe sway 100 Thieves to stay responsible and honest for C, and they've done that successfully. Now the RAF as they try to make a decision towards B or A.
They have to start remembering as well, NRG, that is how they got those offensive rounds. Again, 8 rounds there that they got on their initial attacking half, a lot of it going through A, and if you're 100 Thieves, honestly, you don't want to be baited into overstacking C again, but that does seem like it's what's happening so far. Suna sees nothing. Camera's just going to check over towards a main. Still 40 seconds, and NRG aren't sure. I think NRG believe that there's 100 Thieves are stacking A. They've kind of read this one incorrectly. They've made some plays over towards C. They made minimal plays on towards A, and now that there's not enough time left, do they just go B?
They're running over, looks to be towards a C hit. This is a difficult gamble stack that you have to kind of get through. Nice paranoia that stalls things down. 15 seconds on the clock. The hit now underway. Ethan caught in a million different types of smoke fall. Down to 10 seconds to go. Steal for 2 has kept this site opened up, at least for now. Down to 5. Spike will plant, and Daps is lurking. If he overpeaks here, though, it could be problematic, and Nitro, he finds one elimination, the flashpoint out, but EU avoids it. Turns, finds his 3rd kill in NRG, the first one to break the blood here in the overtime.
This is so tense. I mean, that came down to seconds at the end of the day as well. NRG wasn't sure where they were going to go. They head back towards C, which is what 100 Thieves want, because they were triple stacking C. Ethan in a great position there as well. Beautiful paranoia going directly into garage, which really slows things down. And even while flashed up, Shanks got a kill there. Goes 1 for 1. Which ends up being huge. Android swings as well. EO cleans up 3 kills overall. You also had the late lurk by Daps, and at the end of the day, if that went any further, EU had the Hunter's Fury built up. You could have played the ultimate. That was a big round for NRG, and now map point once again found.
Shanks has put himself onto an operator. I believe I did hear him take a shot as well. It's Steel who, as you mentioned in the prior half, is going to be lurking this direction, and Shanks is hoping that he finds some timing here, but he could very quickly be overwhelmed. You mentioned he's so far up, a tailwind might not be enough to get him out of danger if he misses the first shot.
No, he would have to try and smoke and dash away, but I don't know the smoke is going to come out fast enough.
Yeah, he gets the operator.
Oh, that's true. That he's really screwed then.
Oh, now he's stuck in a corner. Oh my goodness, Shanks, how are you alive? I mean, lucky to be alive. Down to 25 HP, was caught between a rock and another rock, it felt like. And now 100 Thieves know they've pushed the operator back, and they look like they want to go A.
He only survives because Steel activated the cage. So he uses the cage from Steel to get out. He's on 25 HP. Steel's kicking himself right now. He's like, dude, that would have been a free kill. Should have been a free kill. They really wanted. Now the operator being still in there. If he gets one kill in the op, it's massive.
Asuna will blast pack forward, takes out the position towards Hell. Spike will be planted. Up top, got EU trying to keep his life, but Hiko somehow, some way finds a headshot, giving numbers to 100 Thieves, trying to respond with an offense of their own. For NRG's retake, 3 members from the front, Daps a long play through A, in which there's a trap wire that'll stall his hit, so you have to really focus on what's coming from the front. Android, first one forward. Oh my goodness, the flash is brilliant. Finds 2 for free. Tom now here to help, but it's Nitro and Steel locking things up. Shanks from the high ground, no chance with the operator, and we're going into a second set of overtime, tied at 13.
26 so far. Both of our OT rounds came down to pretty massive plays, I think, from the Sova players. Both will be earning a Hunter's Fury, but the number of players still alive there. Look, let's be honest. Som plus Android on that Paranoia and swing play was massive. Getting those 2 kills could have made the difference there, but the rest of 100 Thieves holding strong. Nitro really pulling up the big guns, as is Hiko. Shanks was too low as it was. Needed to find 1 kill in the operator. Doesn't do so. I did say, if he finds a kill in the operator on 25 HP, it's huge, but he couldn't do that. Now it comes down to another, I was going to say another A hit, and I wouldn't be surprised if it would actually go A, but they're going to start C, just kind of bait 100 Thieves to commit onto C to start with, and then eventually hit over to A, but with EU down, the hit's going to be rough. You don't have any recon now.
That's the first time I think we've seen Ethan play on top of the C site like that, completely catching NRG unaware. Steel sees a couple weapons, just taking some spam shots. He's going to have some help. As Nitro, but this Android, he finds himself 2 Hiko on the way in, only good for 1. And NRG will rotate through B to a wide open A site in this 2v2.
Ethan's blown his flash as well. I just saw the Paranoia fly into B. They have to know it's not a plan at this stage in the game. On the long flank coming is Asuna. Camera is been destroyed, I believe. I'm not too sure. The camera's gone for what it's worth. So they should have some information of flanks coming. I mean, yeah, look at this. Som definitely knows something. He's, by the way, still got a Paranoia available. That could be the huge difference maker here. 1 good Paranoia from Som could be a game winner. It's going to come down to, I think, the 1v1 between both sides. There's 2 back-to-back 1v1s here.
Well, you got to keep in mind that the plant will actually allow Daps to see this from up top in heaven in case Som does fall. Dark cover in the play. And Som is thinking that it's still coming through A. Now up top, there's that free angle that we were mentioning. Dark cover will keep them safe. Into the smoke. Som, he gets taken down. Daps! Oh, he can't do anything from the post plant setup in heaven! And with the kill from Ethan, 100 Thieves will break the offensive juggernaut and put themselves up 14-13.
I think Som held on to Paranoia there. I didn't see it come on through. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Som held on to Paranoia. So he doesn't end up using it. And the 1 smoke that came off cooldown for Ethan is enough. They smoke the spike. There is no Paranoia, no swing in time coming through from Som. He played it very defensively, very conservatively. And he has to run into the smoke, and he gets punished. Now, look, to be honest with you, if he tries to flash the smoke, the near sight probably isn't going to be enough anyway, and he probably still dies. But there was a very small window there where he can get the kill to Asuna. It doesn't happen, and 100 Thieves clutch out massively in that 2v2. Now they've secured the match point. Andrew potentially in trouble. He's down.
What a read that is from 100 Thieves. The flashpoint as Android was trying to sneak his way into B mid results in a very early first blood. And NRG are just going to full commit. They're going all in on this play through mid. Sitting there and thinking, no way 100 Thieves checks this twice, right? Well, we'll find out here shortly. Asuna is paying some very minded attention towards this B window. And a recon bolt will also be spent. Som stays concealed from it, though. So still an opportunity for NRG maybe to find an advantage mid-map.
The problem is, I don't think 100 Thieves are going to play mid. I mean, maybe one player looks to check. Summer's actually got to go through window. He might see the spike as well. He might have a timing. Asuna's probably dead. Certainly is. Now he's got to get away. Close by is Hiko. Hiko could trade this one. Hiko's going to go for the drone. He's not going to swing. The tag is going to be good on the tracking dart, but they can't confirm the kill. And off that, NRG pull back 1 kill. Less than 40 seconds now. 100 Thieves haven't made any moves towards either A or C. There was a window there for NRG, for other 100 Thieves to make something happen on A and C, because NRG was stacking hard B, and now the NRG are back into defaults. 100 Thieves are out of time. They gotta go.
Can they block off this angle from Shanks, though? The answer, no. Keeps it completely open, and Shanks is able to capitalize. EU, shock dart right in front of his face, and Steel will find the kill even though he's tagged down. Spike does get planted. Now it's down to the retake attempt. Sam is good for not just one, but two. And Daps cleans things up. We initially go offense for offense. How about a little bit of defense for defense? We're tied up again at 14.
I'm going to be honest, we had a long break before we got into this game. Something like 10 minutes waiting for Ethan to get in the server. Now that we've started, I mean, have we started 30 rounds of 100 Thieves versus NRG on the table? Is that what you ordered today? Because here it is. Have a double serving of it. It's a lot to play for here. This opening map has been fireworks. 4-8 start for 100 Thieves that they had to bring back on that second half. And now we've got into, what is it, triple overtime now? It's getting ridiculous.
Unreal. I mean, it's not even worth talking about the KDs because they're all incredible. I mean, the only thing you could really say is that Shanks on this solo jet has maybe not had the impact that we were hoping for, in the fact that he has not had the operator much, and the fact that he's going completely unopposed when it comes to the jet v jet battle. But take from that what you will. I wouldn't pay too much attention to it. NRG back onto the offense, and once again, where do you think they're going to go? A lot of their success has been to A, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I suppose.
And it's a very defensive hold. I mean, look at where the trap wires are for Steel. They're so far back, and he's even got one over towards Link. Again, it's, to me, at least slightly unusual. Steel probably knows what it's really there for, but I don't really expect NRG to maybe go that way. And now Steel's like, yep, they're all here. I'm just going to have to wait for this one. Oh my god, he read that. Shanks was going to go for that.
You want to talk about defensive trap wires? That's why it's there, apparently. Android is allowed still to get the spike planted, so NRG are setting up their post plan in this 4v5. 100 Thieves are going to be full hitting this from the front, and Steel's found a second elimination. Pico clearing space with the Aldrone. Sees a player down low. That's Sam. Absolutely stall things out the paranoia, but Steel finds his third elimination. Could he possibly just do it all himself? Might need to. EU and Sam find a couple of kills. Sam, are you good for more? Yes, he is, but would not been too much of a problem as 100 Thieves full execute, and they put themselves on 15 first.
EU beefs his recon dart. That was really awful to see, but what is in fact great to see was what Steel did with the trap wire towards this box you can see on the left here where the plant happened. Now, to be clear, I wasn't questioning that trap wire. That trap wire is absolutely fine. We know why that's there. The one that I was questioning was the one over towards a Link, because I think it would be a little bit unusual for NRG to maybe go that way. But look, Steel getting the kill onto Shanks, stopping the plant, and just being a total nuisance there in a situation where he was like 1v5, and I was thinking, okay, just stay alive. He doesn't need to do anything here. Just make sure he doesn't die, let the retake happen, and then we're cool. But he gets better than that. He gets a 1 kill straight away into the 5v4.
NRG again going to put Shanks on this operator. That's all he'll bring to battle. No utility whatsoever, and they'll free him up this time to play through a sewer. No contestants, at least initially, as 100 Thieves have all 5 members leaning towards the C side of the map. And how about it? NRG have freed the operator to get into A, and the other defenders will just make their way over to try to stack towards this left side of the minimap.
Massive cam from Daps as well. He knows it's going to be a cage. That doesn't mean anything. No one's pushed the cage at all. They don't even know the camera's there in terms of what 100 Thieves are doing. They can keep membership over towards C for now. Because you have Shanks looking over towards A, they know it's definitely not going to be over towards A. They've seen, by the way, the cage come up, so they know that probably Steel's lurking towards mid as well. Camera versus camera, and this is what NRG wants. They're stacking heavily on towards C, and here comes 100 Thieves.
Have to find a way to cleanly break this if you're 100T. Boombot gets denied. EU holding onto Recon Bolt. Paranoia comes out, but the Recon Bolt will also be into play. Finding some information. Sam trying to spam through the C garage alley, but it's Ethan who finds first blood. EU with the shock dart, though. Android one more. Tilting in favor of the NRG defense, and Daps takes down the spike carrier. Not done yet. Hiko's still alive, will fall. All rests on the shoulders of Steel, where eventually that camera will scout him out, trying to play forward, nowhere to go. And we're gonna continue forward, 15-15 the tally.
32 rounds, quadruple overtime engaged. Ethan, how about this for a debut? Is this what you expected on your debut match, Ethan? It's 32 rounds of Valorant here. I mean, this is like more Valorant than he's played in scrims, probably. No, I'm joking. He's obviously scrimmed a little bit, but Ethan hasn't been on the team for very long. He's got a decent number of kills. I mean, everyone's above 20 now except for Daps and Shank. Shank's actually surprisingly maybe a little too far down there, but Som's been pretty massive at 32. He's 10 above Nitro. And to go quadruple overtime here, and it's been decent trades as well. I don't even think it comes down to like who's favored on what now, because we've seen teams win on both offense and defense. Probably a little bit more offensive wins from NRG overall, but even that's been contested.
Quick hit. NRG on the way forward. 100 Thieves are going to give up a little bit of the site and then have to play for a bit of a retake. Keep in mind that you still have one player lurking through the middle of the map as Daps could potentially get behind this play. All 5 members survive for both sides. As the plant comes down, Hiko's going to see for early information. And even with it, though, there's not a lot of opportunity to capitalize on it. So now 100 Thieves will be tested truly on this retake. More great utility, though, still coming out as Hiko's able to find some damage with a shock dart. And Daps is lurk through mid. You can see 100 Thieves are looking for him. They know that he's got to be playing around the backside. And meanwhile, Hiko gets a shock dart through. Daps, though, has stayed concealed. And he's on his way forward, but 100 Thieves is already on the site. Steel putting pressure through C long. Finds himself a kill. Knows there's another one around the corner. Taking some spam shots, but has to fall back for the reload. EU with the exchange, but no! And meanwhile, the spike gets defused. And 100 Thieves survive with 4 and go up 16 to 15.
Steel played that excellently. He stops the NRG post plant from really having any value because, I mean, look, it's a good post plant in terms of having 3 over towards long. They can easily spam the plant. It's a god plant as well, right next to the box, right at the back of sight. You have Daps coming in from a long flank, but Daps is so slow. Initially, it looks like Daps is getting high. Daps is getting a lot of value because he's slowing down the retake. He's forcing a lot of members from 100 Thieves to look for him, and that's just wasting time. 100 Thieves are wasting a ton of time chasing down Daps. They need to get the retake going. Steel on his flank, far more successful. Gets a kill, slows down the post plant for getting any damage, and into the next round now. Shanks is in trouble, might even go down as soon as he gets killed.
Same setup, though, for NRG. They keep Android with him just to be sure he doesn't get pressured, and boy, does it pay off in a major way. NRG with an early first blood, and 100 Thieves, I think, recognize that, okay, Operator. We also know that the Phoenix is over towards A, and I think they even read a little bit of information that the Sova's there as well. So they'll quickly rotate over towards a C hit, of which there are no defensive NRG players in the site, and Ethan will get a free plant. This is still a very doable 4v5 post-plant setup.
Super open, though. I don't know if C Long could necessarily see it. They're not going to play there. Steel's actually hidden behind the box into the back of sight. NRG have a player advantage. Can they use it effectively? Here comes Paranoia. It will be countered by the Aftershock and Nitro as well. But with Ethan down, it's now down to a 3v5.
Android's able to find the next kill. Flashpoint on the way through. Keeps Nitro alive. He finds 2, not a third, though. Hiko, can he potentially save the day? Sure, why not? And 100 Thieves clean up the NRG retake. It takes us 32 rounds, but 100 Thieves strike first.
32 rounds. 100 Thieves come in and says, Dormammu, I've come to bargain, and it takes a long time.
We aren't 100% confident in what they're bringing to the table. Even in their run that they were putting together, you know, playing this the round of 16 versus OTW, a different composition what they had from before. So it'd be interesting, I think, to see what we get. This is the same composition on our screen too that they did play in their most recent attempts. So it looks like they've largely been able to figure out what they want to play. It just comes down to, can they effectively use this against 100T?
I think this is a sort of situation where Android really does want to play the Phoenix. They played Phoenix twice now, so the real question is, do you want to go Phoenix Jet or do you want to go Phoenix Raze? I think the ideal composition for NRG is actually to go Jet Raze, but they're not going to move towards that. Jet is maybe slightly... Here's what I'm going to say in defense of NRG's picks here. You know 100 Thieves are not going to play Jet here. Pretty much a guarantee they're not going to go Jet. That means if you don't go your own Jet, it's not a big loss. It's not like you have some sort of Jet disadvantage, even though if you look at 100 Thieves, like, they're probably saying what Jet disadvantage, it didn't really appear for them, right? So... and that's on a good Jet map like Haven. Now that you're on a map where teams were already starting to phase out a little bit, obviously not if you're TSM because you got Wardell, but a lot of other teams, for the most part, actually don't really want to play Jet here. Not a lot of teams, but certain teams. And now in this particular matchup, no Jet across the board. It's going to be Raze Phoenix. Android is going to be on a comfort pick. Shanks is going to play something that's going to be quite good for this map. Asuna will respond to the other side. Nitro will play the Fabled Sage. That was really rumored that Nitro was going to come in as a flex player. We saw him play Breach. The other pick that was, I guess, on the grapevine that people were saying he was going to bring out was going to be the Sage, and now we get to see it.
Oh, this is interesting. The last time that this composition was played by 100 Thieves, they didn't just lose the map of Bind to Carpe Noctem, they also lost the round of 64 matchup versus a team named Spotlight. So, again, this feels like maybe an instance where 100 Thieves are going back to something that they have to play because you're dealing with essentially a new player, a couple of new roles. You don't have the ability to go onto that jet that Dicey was playing for before. Maybe a consideration there, but I think just the larger takeaway for me is that both teams are still trying to get their feet grounded on this map when it comes to what agents they want to play. So we'll figure out exactly who may have an advantage, if there's one at all, between either of these two squads. We can get into it. It's NRG on the defense first, 100 Thieves tasked with going into the offense.
I'm going to say one thing about losing Bind versus Spotlight. If you actually take a look at the game, it was Silent still basically playing in place of Nitro, who was away, and it's Dicey playing Sage, which is, you know, Dicey doesn't play Sage. So that's a write-off immediately. So that would be why they lose Bind. I think this is going to be a different version. I'm not going to read too hard into that Bind loss, even though it does kind of stick out like a sore thumb. Walk down coming through from NRG. Steel, is he ready?
Yep. Finds one. Not gonna be able to get a second, but help is here. Ethan, patient, not quite enough, but it doesn't make a difference because Steel has found 3, picks up a sheriff, but EU will punish. And so we'll stay with a small advantage for 100 Thieves in this offense in a 3v2.
Steel maybe getting a little bit greedy there. Sees a free gun into the going, likes to lap that one up, and it's going to give NRG maybe some utility to win, especially with Daps. Long range headshot onto Nitro. No more healing. Plant's going to come in, but there's enough time for the rest of NRG to regroup. EU's on the way here. Half HP for Sooner as well, and he's making a long rotation back to short. There's a small timing window. Maybe an isolation kill. I don't think NRG realize it. Now 100 Thieves are back together.
Yeah, I don't think they fully expected Asuna to give up the showers play to come back towards middle, but as soon as he throws out these paint shells, that will be information gained. Owl drone out. Tag will be there, but EU able to find the kill. Just down to Hiko. He's been so good with these shot darts. Can he be so once more? Tries to take the long peek, but he gets tagged up heavily. Doesn't even matter. Hiko, 1v1. Oh! Bang! Bang! Hiko for 2!
That's what you get. That's what you get. Hiko, the biggest beta that I've ever seen. I'm joking, but he gets the kills. The rest of the team dies and he cleans up. That was a joke, guys. Don't get angry, please. Hiko clutches through massively. 5 HP. That was going to be a situation. That was going to be a situation where I was looking at Steel like, yo, you died over towards B ramp unnecessarily. You gave EU the opportunity to rotate back and rejoin Daps. If you killed EU, this would have been an easy, like, what, 1v3, 1v4 situation. Daps comes up huge with a long-range kill versus Nitro. Comes down to a very close 2v2 and could have gone either way. But it goes the way Hiko. Dart going to come through, kicking over towards Showers. Steel's going to bypass that one for now.
Unbelievable. You just never rule them out, can you? Big advantage now for 100 Thieves, saving the pistol. NRG stacked onto A with 4 defensive members, and they want to try to push through this dark cover. It's going to be Ethan who's nearby, but he does not have a weapon out. Caught with the dark cover. Sam able to find first blood. Trapwire also dealt with, and they're going to get information that, hey, the spike's actually down here as well.
100T have a gun advantage, though. They have dropped 1 weapon, courtesy of Ethan. There's a smoke there that they can play with as well. This is going to come down to 100 Thieves having to clear very close boombots available. That's actually massive for the super boombot. Yeah, they can use that to now their way into market. Free spike. He just yoinks it. He's like, that's for free. I'm just going to walk away with it. NRG cannot respond. Still a 5v4, though. Steel with the potential timing. Gets a bit of a headshot. Can't complete the kill. And has to now just try not to die.
Here.
Oh. Dicey engagement so far. Time becoming an issue. 30 seconds to play. Everything will have to go through Shanks, who's down to 22 HP. He does hear the footsteps. Can he go 1 kill here? Yeah, sure, why not? That's also the spike down. Wait, the barrier orb is also in play. If he can hold his life a little bit longer, maybe there's an opportunity to kill the clock off. Sam is also essentially in this play, if not just barely. Tries to spam to the dark cover. Gets a bit of damage, but the spike does get planted. Unbelievable. 3v4 situation. Still not done yet. Shrouded step for Sam as he gets on top of the play. And now it's just down to Nitro to try to hold on to this. Knows that he's got some wall to work with. Timing of the peak not favorable. And now it's up to Steel. 1 HP. They're looking. They're trying to find him. Steel finds 1 kill. Tries to spam. The defuse is in play. Gonna stay alive. Shrugs them off, but Sam finds the kill.
And a free Vandal pickup as well. What a close round. Oh my goodness. That's a dangerous Thrifty round. And it starts by dropping Ethan in market. They slow down 100 Thieves. They drop a gun, and the best gun that they were hoping for was the one that Som picks up at the end of the day. He nearly killed the planter. He nearly got it. Through the smoke, just barely misses. TP's over on top of the boxes, close by, tucked in. Has a smoke coming up in 5 seconds. Smoke ends up being absolutely clutch because Steel is trying to make the flank happen, and he can't connect the shots. He doesn't know where to shoot. And what an insane Thrifty win from NRG that completely slows down and kind of ruins the economy momentum of 100 Thieves.
Your heart's not racing watching this series. I have to question if you're even alive at this point. Goodness gracious. 100 Thieves now trying to make an execute, potentially come early through both hookah and B long. The defense for NRG is solely playing inside elbow, but quick on the rotation will be Shanks. Just comes down to will he be here in time to maybe even contest the initial plant is the question. Well, 100 Thieves have not committed to this play yet, even though they've thrown out a lot of utility that would make you think otherwise. And, well, it seems like otherwise is also being thought by NRG as Shanks is potentially considering, do I need to rotate back over to A?
No, they're committing to this one for sure. They see the paranoia as well. That's usually a bit of a telltale sign. Hunter's Fury available, 100 Thieves sooner down. Here comes Hunter's Fury trying to clear out the angles, and they will get Android down. 4 versus 4 now. Plants coming in. Ethan should be able to get this one pretty safely. Nitro coming through from the side as well, having control. A little bit of control over towards elbow. Finds a gun into the ground. 100 Thieves now feeling much better about their opportunity.
NRG are going to have to retake this by moving through elbow. 3 players currently there. Daps waiting for an opportunity to peek from the main defensive door. And here comes his move. Paranoia comes out. Will there be any kills for it? No. 100 Thieves are going to find one, but Shanks finds his way on for 2. If even exchange, pinstripe kill feed 2v2 situation. Paint Shell's going to deal some damage to Hiko, but he still finds the kill. Has he killed off enough time? They know where Steel is. Deals with a recon bolt. Tries to spam. Wait a second. EU finds the kill. Does he have time to secure the back end of the plan? Of course he does. And EU saves the round for NRG.
I didn't see that kill, but I guarantee you it was sick. I guarantee you EU did an incredible play there in terms of the headshot he found. Just seeing it from Steel's POV, like Steel's thinking, I can just spam through here. I should be able to land a few shots. Let's take a look at how that round broke down. Again, this massive jump in from Shanks. No one spots him, gets 2 kills. This is the start, I think, for NRG to really start to seal the deal. And just look at that from EU. Straight away, reads the fact that Steel could be on top of the box, gets the kill, half the fuse already, confirms the round, and now 100 Thieves are definitely going to save. Steel had a hero rifle that round, it's gone.
Every round feels like that last round of overtime. I'm not even going to lie to you here after I mean,
we haven't. We're just continuing the overtime from the last time, really.
Feels like it, doesn't it? Initial engagement for Shower, technically won by NRG, not just because of the positioning, but they've also tagged Asuda down to about half health.
Not expecting a lot from 100 Thieves with this particular round. Should be 3-1. Outside of any particular massive plays 100 Thieves could do, they would have to find some timings here. NRG would have to make some big mistakes. 100 Thieves, I mean, if they can sort of have a situation where, you know, they sort of bait NRG to heavily stack over towards A, which they are now, then slowly rotate to B, find EU by himself, and potentially get that kill plus a gun, that would be a way for 100 Thieves to win. But otherwise, if they just run into NRG like this, NRG should be able to clean up.
Lots of information off the spy cam. Shanks good for 2. Android more beyond that. Paint Shells even going to push Nitro back a touch. Easy eliminations. Flawless round for NRG.
Here we go, mopping up on aisle 3 over here. 3 being the number of rounds that NRG have so far, including the 4 ultimates online. 1 out of 7 for Daps as well. They actually have the full stack here. Don't mind the light armor there for Daps. That'll be upgraded in a hot minute. Plenty of money to play through as well. 100 Thieves, it's gonna... I'm looking back over towards our early stages of Haven. And it was a 2-2. In fact, it became a 3-2. 100 Thieves got 3-2 before it got out of hand, and then NRG got 5 in a row. This is going to be NRG looking for an early 3 in a row. Now, this is going to be where 100 Thieves got to win. They lose this round, and we have 4 in a row for NRG. They're going to go 5 in a row.
Yeah, and just to kind of speak on it, I mean, again, take from what you will statistically with both of these rosters essentially different in some form. This is technically the best half for both of these teams. NRG finding more favor defensively, whereas 100 Thieves have found more historical data in their favor on the offense. So Again, we should expect to see a pretty tight affair, but like you mentioned, this has to be a must-win round, you think, like for 100 Thieves, if you want to try to keep this early part of the half close.
Yeah, it's just about the momentum here. I think 100 Thieves need to build up a bit of a bank. They're obviously on a full loss bonus here, so I mean, losing would at least mean they get the extra 2,900. Here comes a Sooner, though. Right up in showers, gets the first kill, connects onto the second as well, and that's going to open up 100 Thieves to collect this round, potentially 3 versus 5. Now, Ultimate's available for NRG, but they would have to start thinking about using these. Android's down, so you can count out that runner back now. This round is going 100 Thieves 100%.
Unbelievable. I mean, initially for NRG, the delayed peek through shower, I think maybe raises a couple of question marks, but then beyond that, just the beautiful read, pushing Android back off the paint shells, couple of trailing tap shots through the cyber cage, good for the kill. And like you mentioned, this would be a very difficult round. I think you would feel that NRG could even potentially even get a retake on the cards, and EU will sneak in towards Lamps, at least initially, but he decides to fade back, and like you just mentioned, keep the weapons. No need to risk it.
They need either runner back or showstopper. Without one or both of those ultimates, it's not really possible. If they have showstopper or runner back, they can have an entry play. Showstopper clears the entire site. Anyone that challenges will trade for 1-for-1, and that's pretty good for NRG in terms of just opening up the site and allowing the rest of these players, including Daps and EU, to get on. Same story with Android. In fact, it's even better with the runner back because Android could die and he still comes back to life. But without either of those ultimates, if it's just EU and Daps, it's not possible. So they are going to save the weapons. They still have 5 ultimates to play through. Their economy should be good enough to buy again into another impressive round. But this is massive from Asuna. Headshot. Second headshot. Not quite a spray transfer. Swings. That next kill that we don't see in the replay, but getting the kill into Android, I think is the pivotal kill that actually wins the round.
And this is one of those things you can kind of feel with NRG sending 4 defensive members over towards A. You feel a little bit antsy of, okay, there has not been a hit yet. There's been no utility yet. Are they actually here? And so you do try to set up that double peek to shower. Maybe you go 1-for-1 at worst, but you were able to stabilize and kind of confirm where you need to put your defensive members. But the fact that they don't get that trade is so devastating. Tac pause coming in now for NRG. A lot of tools on the table. A big gun round for both of these squads overall.
And I think this is where NRG need to talk about, okay, how do we use this ult economy? Here's something that people need to understand as well. Sitting on 5 ults, not good. The only time I think sitting on 5 ults might be acceptable is if you're so far ahead and you don't even need the ults to win. It'd be a waste to use them. That's when sitting on 5 ults might be considered okay. But sitting on 5 ults here means you're not really using your full utility. This would be like if you're going into these rounds and you're just not smoking, you're not flashing, you're not using full utility. Consider these ultimates like extra utility. And if you're not using the extra utility, what are you saving this for? Because it's a full gun round. The only extra advantage you can find on a full gun round when everyone buys up is in the ultimates, and NRG have 3 extra ultimates than 100 Thieves. They have to start burning some of these.
Well, it's framed up for us. Early bit of information here. Asuna has to go to a panic showstopper, and Sam makes good on the play. What a freeing moment that is. Daps able to find the information. Sam gets enabled to be the catalyst, and that's a brilliant first blood, plus the showstopper also taken off the table.
And they don't have to use anything just yet, so they can hold these ultimates now for a potential retake, and that's if they allow 100 Thieves to get on site. They still have a decent amount of members here. I think Shanks is in a great position, actually. He's got full showers control. No one's challenged him just yet. He can use that as a retake. Currently, 100 Thieves can only play through a shot, which is not great for them. Also, a trap wire, I believe that's from Steel. Here comes the teleport from Ethan as well. Does he commit? Not quite, but he checks no one's there.
Shanks' position has been revealed. Defensive Hunter's Fury out for EU. The spike still planted behind the barrier orb. Damage coming through from a multitude of different angles. 100 Thieves down to 3 players. Android clears Lamps with the run it back, and it's just down to Hiko. Would be probably the most incredible 1v5 we've ever seen, but not going to happen here. So the run it back comes out, the Hunter's Fury comes out, and NRG win a flawless defense.
I'm pretty happy with that. I think those are 2 good ultimates burn to sort of get their way through. I mean, it's a little bit harder to find massive value from the Shadows or Neural Theft. Showstopper was the other option here, but I think burning one of Showstopper or run it back is good. Not both in this case. Burning both would kind of affect their next retake a little bit negatively, so having the extra Showstopper for a potential further retake in the future is going to be pretty good now they're sitting at a scoreline of 4-2. Having a flawless also means the extra bank up. They can afford to, have a future round loss here. That's not going to really seriously impact them. Shanks could potentially go to an operator if EU decides to drop, but they're not playing a jet. So I think for both sides, both teams are just going to forgo the operators for most of this map.
Well, Resurrection is on the table this time for 100 Thieves. Full gun round for both of our squads. Still an ultimate advantage when it comes down to what NRG can potentially be using. Spike will still be left over towards mid-market, so this will be 100 Thieves just searching for information, and boy, are they about to get it. 3 members across from B. Long, EU with 2 kills, and NRG's defense in a very comfortable position early.
They have to play for the res here 100%, so 100 Thieves will now be rotating off of A. They have to clear a bunch of angles. The fear for 100 Thieves here is that somebody from NRG has lurked further down, so Ethan has to clear all these angles slowly. Have to make sure that they can get a safe plant. They might even have to burn a smoke over towards B long as well. They have about 50-ish, slightly under in a minute. And the drone as well should be able to spot somebody. It barely sees a shoulder out from Nitro, but I think it's very obvious. I think NRG should know that the res should be burned here.
Kill my allies.
Hiko brought back to battle. 36 seconds to play in a 4v5 for 100 Thieves offense. Will commit, at least for now, towards B. Opportunity for maybe a teleporter play if they get cold feet. But the time would be a bit of an issue. Asuna will stall just a little while longer while he grabs himself an ultimate orb. Curveball, paint shells as well coming through, making life extra difficult for 100 Thieves. Android down low. He's good for 1. Shakes responds to Asuna, who was blast packing into his face. And now it's up to Equal again. 1v4, now made a bit easier, but the spike is not in hand. There will not likely be enough time for him to confirm all these kills, and NRG will be up 5-2 here early on Bind.
Yeah, here we go. This is where NRG is starting to find their groove, similar to what we saw onto Haven, mind you. I mean, if I go back to Haven again, we have, what, 3-2 early in the first 5 rounds. A few more rounds after that, it became a 4-3. So this is already better than a 4-3. We got a 5-2. Another broken buy from 100 Thieves, which means likely we're going to 6-2. As long as NRG don't drop to a Thrifty coming through from 100 Thieves, it's fine for NRG. They've got a lot of money to play with. They're starting to rotate through some more ultimates here as well. Again, using and saving the showstopper for a retake was huge there. Definitely awarded them with some extra pressure. This is a particular round where they don't have any ultimates, but they can farm. It's going to be a good farming round for NRG because they're low on ults. The 100 Thieves are probably not going to win, so all these kills will now get the next round of rotations in terms of ultimates for the further gun round after this.
A lot of utility being exchanged, but Hiko's going to use his to go to Hunter's Fury. Can he confirm? Sure, why not? How about a second? Hiko for 2 off the Hunter's Fury. Dap's trying to hold on. Throws out the Neural Theft. This is 100 Thieves in a very disadvantageous position off the weapons alone, but they've made things interesting. Still onto the site is Asuna. He'll fall, but Hiko turns to more traditional weaponry. Finds a headshot. We've got a 3v2 in favor of 100T, who have gotten onto the site for a plant, but Nitro reads the teleporter, and Daps will shrug him off, but immediately wrapping back to what will be a wide open A site for 100 Thieves.
Oh, Daps has a 1v1 now. Hiko's here. They got a battle. Hiko wins it for 4 kills and a headshot with the Sheriff as well. This is a Hiko round for sure. EU might die here as well. Ethan will take it down, and I said this already, Shift. I said this. NRG just have to make sure they don't lose to a 100 Thieves Thrifty, and they should be fine for a 6-2 holding on to momentum, and they lose to the 100 Thieves Thrifty off the back of Hiko. You're asking, where does 100 Fury come from? He got rezzed in the previous round. He got rezzed at 5 out of 7. Hiko then gets a couple of kills, I believe, which gets him onto the ult. So if he didn't get rezzed in the previous round, I don't think he has enough ult or he doesn't have enough ult charge to actually get that 100 Fury. You don't have those opening 2 picks, so a lot of what we saw in previous rounds have compounded into this result here, and a stunning round win for 100 Thieves in a moment where they really needed it, otherwise they'd be very far behind.
Boombot clearing space. Asuna just spamming through the cyber cage. Finds first blood onto Sam. I mean, 100 Thieves just... You feel like you're in a position where if you're a neutral fan, you're probably sitting there saying, oh, there's no way. And then moments like that happen. Nitro feeling a lot of pressure. Actually uses a barrier orb to keep him safe, and boy, did it. There was a paint shells and a hot hands that was denied by the barrier orb, and he gets out with full HP. That's hashtag worth it.
Well, good news for NRG is now 100 Thieves can't use the barrier orb to actually get a free plant in. Dap should get a 1-for-1 kill. He'll probably die afterwards, but the first kill's for free. The second one's going to cost extra, and he's not going to get it. Nitro gets the cleanup here. Showstopper coming on through from the side of Asuna. Is it going to hit? Might not matter. Android's getting more than a bit of value off this runner back, but he'll go down. And EU, no HP, no chance. Steal 3 kills, and 100 Thieves now up 4.
Oh my goodness. What does this do to the economy? At a certain point, you have to feel like NRG are going to start being put into a pretty trepidatious position. And yeah, it looks like there will be one more purchase. Yep. It just depends on how this next round goes. Can 100 Thieves flip the script on the economy, which has been so far just dominated by NRG?
And here we go. I think Shanks moving towards the operator is probably correct here as well, because, you know, in terms of lining up the playstyles, 100 Thieves have been mostly a slower team. They're a mid-round team. In fact, I think they're quite a late-round team, which means Shanks could potentially pick them apart with an operator. Going to be challenging Showers early. Won't get any value there because no one's actually going to be taking Showers control. A little bit confused by the smoke coming through because that actually stops Shanks from checking the angle. Now Shanks is rotate over to B and he'll be late.
Well, it's also just going to make a bunch of noise, but there is no full commitment to using this hookah position, at least not as of yet. The spike is still lingering just outside A mid, and well, the Shanks rotation pays off. Finds a first blood. NRG will actually confirm a headshot onto Steel as well. So now if you're 100 Thieves, you're just looking at this play through A main as far as being your only barrier of success. Daps will read it with the spy cam, but also gets pushed back. Saab makes use of a trap wire for an elimination, and NRG's defense in a very solid spot. Nitro's gonna try to stick for a plant, but as soon as the cyber cage fails, Daps able to find the kill, and it comes down to a 2v4.
Okay, is this still doable? Might TP? Yes, he will TP, but yeah, Steel came back though. Steel's gonna have to really try and lurk here. That's one really decent kill. He needs to try and get the TP, gets a third onto Android, and now Neural Theft into the teleporter. Pretty decent, trying to bait someone to follow him. Neural Theft is going to allow Hiko to find locations, get the free plant. TP over means they should have hookah control plus long. NRG doubled entry through from CT. 2 versus 2. Low HP on Steel. Remember, 30 HP. He's one shot away. Steel needs to play this one very carefully.
Reveals his position. Player nearby gets caught. Just down to Hiko, but said that a couple of times before. There's the first. Knows the second contestant's nearby. Throws a shoulder. Tries to take the fight. Gets him caught mid-reload. And Hiko does it again.
How many times is Hiko gonna get away? He is so good in these clutch situations. 12 and 7. Hunter's very available as well, just in case things got even, tougher. If there was going to be a defuse there at all. I mean, this was huge from Daps early on. Daps pretty much saves NRG. It looked like it was going to be NRG. Remember, that's a 4v2. Also, credit to Steel. Steel takes a headshot early on. This is Arthur Asuna dies to a shot coming through from Shanks via the operator. And after that, Steel gets 2 kills, Neural Theft, and then TPs into Hookah. If it wasn't for that, I don't think Hiko gets the opportunity to win that last clutch. So a combination effort between Steel and Hiko, and then obviously Hiko to keep the lid on, cherry on top of that cake, and now 100 Thieves back up to 5 and 5.
I mean, at a certain point, I think we need to ask production just to put in a how many solo rounds has Hiko won for 100 Thieves? Because out of the 5 successful rounds, it feels like at least 3 of them have been, but NRG not phased, find the opening 3 eliminations, keeping B-Long safe, and that's the spike carrier taken down.
And more importantly, Hiko does die, but Steel is in play still. Steel will have to go pretty large here. Not a lot of HP. Suna's still there. Suna can definitely bait Steel in this next play. I mean, they have to recover Spike, though. They don't have the ultimates. They lost Hiko, which means no Hunter's Fury. And Hiko's been probably the biggest issue for NRG to deal with so far. Waiting for the smoke to fade. Trap comes down as well. I don't know if that's going to reveal too much. Camera doesn't see anything. Just checking no one's inside. Steel, again, Steel has to bait. This needs to be huge from Asuna.
Curveball comes out. They try to make the play, but it's the shells that actually confirms the kill. So now you're down to a 2v2. How have they been allowed to do this? This is what, a 2v5 situation? And now 100 Thieves have the B site. Hunter's Fury coming out. That will take care of Steel. Paranoia was though also spent. Asuna trying to hold on, but EU from across the map. Oh, it's a costly round, but NRG still find themselves on 6.
Another excellent round from Steel overall. Despite losing that one, I mean, he makes it slightly more winnable. He got a double kill. I don't even see where on the map, but he gets a double kill from a lurk, I believe. Assisting Asuna, baiting with his low HP, and it happens to be EU with the Hunter's Fury, connecting all 3 shots. Required to get both the last kills. Otherwise, I think Sam's probably in a little bit of trouble there. Yes, the Paranoid did come on through. He doesn't quite swing on it. Lies on the Hunter's Fury ultimate from his teammate, and NRG, I think, kind of wiping sweat off the brow for that particular round, because like you said, it was a very strong start from NRG, and they still end up bringing it back down to a 2v2 that was still losable, to be fair.
Final round of the half. First point of contact just through Hookah. EU able to win it. Take it down to a single bullet worth of health, but still it's a 5v4. But Hiko, does he find information off this Aldrin? He has a Hunter's Fury to spend. Gets the tag, immediately hits the triggers. And he locked down this player in the back, just over the top. And meanwhile, Sam has found 1 kill. Resurrection in play. Sam, do you have the spam? No, he does not. So the resurrection comes through marginally successfully. A lot of AoE coming into play. Asuna fortunate to be alive, if not just barely. Sam also considering, can he check things out? He actually is going to go back to safety to make sure that NRG can sustain this 5v3 defensively.
Nitro, the heal as well, puts Asuna back onto full HP, so it's going to be a res into a heal. Barely healthy enough. It's going to come down to a Hiko clutch. This is the only way they win this. It's got to be Nitro and Asuna setting up Hiko for success here. Recon's going to come on through. Not a bait. This is going to be the real play, and with Hiko down, this might be it.
30 seconds left.
Spike will be planted behind the barrier orb. Neural theft was spent. Also, the paranoia just came out. So NRG have the numbers, but there's no one playing behind this. It just comes down to, can Asuna actually find a handful of kills here? Decent shots coming through, plus the shock dart, really nowhere for him to go. Nitro, how good could you be? Not enough ammunition. There's just too many members running at him. So, my goodness. I think in a lot of ways, this could have been a much more lopsided half, but NRG, I'm sure, feel a bit fortunate to exit 7-5. We'll throw things to our halftime break. 2 rounds quite yet, but that is not keeping our teams from putting out a show. Avril, first reactions to the first half.
Actually, very close. You would have thought, looking at the initial, 7 rounds here, you got a 5-2 score line, you were thinking, okay, pretty good for NRG. Can they, snowball this into a further lead, maybe do another 8-4 start, which would be pretty good. Ends up 5-7, which is much closer than NRG would have liked to have finished it. Massive rounds from Hiko. Super impressed by both Hiko and also Steel this particular half. I mean, in that first half, how many rounds did it look like NRG were just going to take it quite easily? If it wasn't for heroics from Hiko and additionally supplied by Steel as well, I mean, those extra rounds coming through to allow the 5-7 to happen, that's where it comes from.
Well, that was both of our team's stronger sides in that first half. NRG for their defense, 100 Thieves for their offense, but again, the statistics might not matter too much. Troubling position there for Steel. Beautiful hot hands. Not able to use the cyber cage to get out, so a first blood for NRG here in the pistol, which will likely lead to an execute to be, and it does. But Nitro up top, deals with the spike carrier, stays alive, gets the reload off, but not going to find anything beyond it. Daps also tagged down low, but is able to survive for now. Ethan takes the position of his former squad mate. Right click's not going to be there, and now we've got a 4v2 post plan in favor of NRG.
Ethan would need to win that 1v1 to allow a 3v3 retake to happen. Because he doesn't win that, they don't have any control over into Hookah. No control into Hookah means for 100 Thieves, this will be a very difficult retake. Even with Hiko alive on full HP now, Asuna has only 48 to play with. Would have to win this 1v1. Does versus EU. Can he clear the rest of Long? No. Sam will get it. And now Hiko by himself. 1 versus 3 not going to happen. And NRG with another pistol. I say another pistol. 100 Thieves actually won the first pistol. NRG get a pistol, which means they will go up 8-5.
No more pistol magic there for Hiko, although he had an opportunity, didn't he? All the last 3 players were pretty low, but not going to come through. So no forced purchase here for 100 Thieves. Still feeling okay about the stat line, even though they do find themselves down 3 rounds. And again, expectations would be that they would find themselves down 4 here with NRG coming into SMGs. And beyond that, actually EU with a Phantom.
I think this would have to be another 9-4 situation. I think it was 9-4. 100 Thieves might be feeling pressured to go towards the force. 8-5 is still a close enough scoreline that allowing NRG to go 9 here isn't the worst thing in the world. I think EU and the rest of NRG will be pretty well scaled to go into the next round, though. I believe DAF should be going towards a rifle. They should have at least 2 rifles, assuming they don't lose so many players going through this particular round. But, we've seen 100 Thieves win Thrifties before. Early damage on a Hiko, and he's down.
Shanks and I'll be responsible for this teleporter play, which sees all of 100 Thieves here. Here comes the swing. Shanks good for 1. Lots of damage into a second. Paint shells just to keep him safe. Help has also arrived in the form of EU. And NRG have only dropped 1 in this exchange. Spike has been planted. Nitro by himself. Gonna get overwhelmed. NRG, as expected, put themselves up 9-5.
So Daps had 2k in the bank. He'll have about 5k-ish total now, plus any extras. I don't remember if he got a kill or not. Dropped the Frenzy, pretty inconsequential. 2 rifles there as expected. EU arriving on 1 from the previous round. Everyone else survived, so they don't need to rebuy here. 3 Spectres, 2 Phantoms. Pretty powerful 3rd round bonus coming through from NRG, and still with extra in the bank if they do lose this round to play further with. I wonder if they're going to speed up here. 100 Thieves have everything as you'd expect. No real timings on ultimate. Android is actually one away, so I'd lie. If they can get Android and Orb and Showers, this could be huge.
You kind of see that 100 Thieves do not want to allow that to happen. They've got 3 defensive members that are playing here. Daps is still considering maybe the possibility of working his way in, but with all these taps back and forth, could be a very unfortunate game of tag. Steel, backed up by a blast pack. He'll be all right. He'll still hold the position if he so chooses. And again, we tilt our attention back over towards this A shower battle, which seems to be ongoing and everlasting.
Respect that 100 Thieves are going for this, by the way. They know that this orb is going to be contested by NRG. They don't actually have any info in short, so they're just hoping that nothing bad is happening short. Hiko's got rough eyes on it. He's just kind of there, isn't able to see too much. Walls down over towards long as well. So for the 2 players, 100 Thieves over towards B, they just need to worry about Hookah for now. Paranoia comes on through, and oh my goodness, through the smoke is going to be a sooner. So that's going to be now. Run it back off the table.
A lot of commitment for NRG to try to make that play happen. Steel will be taking a pretty hefty amount of damage off of a very good opening paint shell. So Spike is a part of this play. Steel trying to stay alive, not able to use the cyber cage to take down Shanks. So we go 4v4, 28 seconds to play. Spike is on site. Sam is going to try to hold for this. Does catch a shock dart in the process, but will successfully get the plant off. So 4v4, we go! Spam shots from Hiko? What in the world?
That's ridiculous. I mean, that's good enough now that 100 Thieves should be able to cleanly retake this one. There's 3 over towards long. A little bit more util will lock them out. There's no wall. There's no smoke for another 10. Okay, Shanks are going to make it interesting. The recon could be pretty huge as well. They haven't quite deleted the recon yet. Time is going to maybe be an issue here.
EU's going to be good for 1 and a second, not a third. Ethan, 1v1 situation. Doesn't expect the last player is also over towards B long. Zaps kept himself concealed the entire way, and NRG go up 10-5.
Dab shooting the body as well. Not the first time we've seen that so far in this matchup, but they had no util. I was thinking, okay, I mean, they can get this. All they got to do is kind of cage it off, or, you know, rather, I was thinking more towards the smoke from Ethan. You look over at Ethan, it's like still on cold. It's not quite there yet. Nitro doesn't have enough util. And suddenly, what could have been a pretty good retake off the back of Hiko's massive kill through the wall ends up not working out because the util isn't there to clear through into long, and so the 3 long players there from NRG just make it work. They have no hookah control, and it's still good. Spam through the smoke now. It's a little bit of damage. A lot of damage, actually. Look at the health of Ethan.
Yeah. Down to critical HP. Daps trying to deny the ultimate orb being captured, but cannot successfully break the barrier orb, so getting away will be Nitro. And now he's going to have to essentially wait for Ethan to make the rotation over to get him healed up, which he is on the way for. Android moving forward. Here comes the blast pack initiation from Shanks. On the way in. A lot of information on where exactly
Steel?
the Sage is playing, but Steel was never checked, so he finds 1. Is that going to be enough? Daps 1v1, able to take down Nitro. 4v3 we go. And the Spike has made its way, well, not yet. Should be able to make its way onto A, but they're not feeling confident about this yet. Our NRG, and they're actually going to rotate away from this play.
Now, there is a gun on the floor. If NRG rotate away from this one, the gun will be free to pick up. You do see a player still here. Som should have the off angle. Asuna doesn't check it. He's even caught swapping guns. Ethan long range is taken down by EU, and 100 Thieves now no longer have to rotate towards B. They can just keep playing here. They'll get the free plant. Daps will clean up the last kill on minimal HP. They'll collect the extra money from the plant itself. 4 players alive. Pretty comfortable. They don't have to burn the runner back, like I said before. Ideally, they just use one of either showstopper or runner back, and not both, and they'll now have the runner back available for this round.
Big opportunity for NRG. Again, their pick was Haven. That went to 32 rounds. Tilted, as you see on the scoreboard there, in favor of 100 Thieves, but this would be a 100 T's pick. And I have to imagine that it comes with maybe a touch of criticism, considering the fact that they are just 2 and 3 in this map overall. But, you know, again, this is a brand new roster, all things considered, and they have hard vetoed out split. So it would be a scent that would be waiting for us if NRG can close this game out. Still some work to do. We know that 100 Thieves have been, I won't say in worse positions, but similar ones, and they've been able to clutch things up. Daps will read information, and that will be enough for him to say, I'm not interested. He'll back away. Ethan able to find one and steal another as they just dart down the long, trying to cut off the rotation as Shanks, but only gets 1 of 2.
Okay, here we go. 100 Thieves. I mean, they even have an extra resurrection if they want to play into it, but I think the 4v2 advantage is enough. 100 T still need to potentially be a bit greedy, hold on to extra util to make this comeback happen. And yeah, it's going to have to be another comeback now as the wall comes down. Well placed, stops anyone from TPing as well. Does get broken down in terms of one segment. Less than 1 minute to play through. Spike has been recovered. Where did NRG go? I don't know they want to necessarily spend this ultimate. They would get far more value out of it on a future round. I think they realize their hopes of winning this round are not that high. If you do spend this ultimate, their hope would have to be that they can bait out like a showstopper in response and go for a 1-for-1 trade in terms of ults. But they are going to go for this play. I think they got the money for it. They certainly have the rounds to burn, Alan. So here we go. NRG walking to B.
Defensively, Ethan playing through the elbow. Hiko over towards the defender spawn. Ethan will get first point of contact. Sees the information, just backs down. Wants to make sure that help can be there. Also still holding onto a paranoia. Will throw that out, but no one can really convert onto this. So the spike will be planted. That's a flash that's down. Teleporter play from Nitro as he makes his way around the back through Hookah. Showstopper does get baited out. That should be confirming for a kill, but Ethan finds that anyways, and Android still walks away with 2. So not bad at all. NRG punished in a major way in what seemed to be an unwinnable situation. They get the spike down, they force out the showstopper and the resurrection beyond that with a couple of kills.
Yeah, I think they need the money here, and this is where, you know, who do they give this charge over? Maybe Hiko takes the defuse, certainly is. Hiko's probably closer than everyone else to the Hunter's Fury. There it is, earns Hunter's Fury off that resurrection as well. But by the way, we've seen, we go back to the first half, by the way, Hiko getting a Hunter's Fury off the back of a res actually won them around the following round. So pretty big play from Nitro, I think, to find the value there. That was a must-win round for 100 Thieves, because if they drop that round, that was going to be their last buy probably for the half, because NRG would be on 12, 100 Thieves would have to force. Kiss buying goodbye, and onto Ascent we go, but still keeping this one competitive for now. Steel, no one can drop him a gun, so I guess he goes Guardian, something like that. No, Phantom. No, he just barely has enough. He'll sell some util and he'll be okay. And 4 ultimates for NRG, 3 for 100 Thieves, but notably Hiko has a Hunter's Fury, and I think that could make the difference.
We will find out. Ethan will bait the teleporter over towards A long. That will keep Daps at bay for some time. Shanks using a lot of utility trying to clear out Hookah. Also deletes the spy cam. Still contesting will be Steel. And as the cyber cage comes out, he will actually play through this and forward, trying to catch Shanks off guard, but that will not occur. And we've got a very early 5v4 in favor of NRG's attack.
Yeah, Steel was kind of making a bit of a gamble there, hoping that he was going to check right side and no one was going to be on the hard left, and he was going to maybe find a timing. They knew that there was going to be players long, so Steel's maybe looking for a timing down ramp to get a few kills on players that were backing out, but no res as well for 100 Thieves. Again, they used it the last round for tempo, and now they're going to have to really make use of that tempo as the runner back comes in.
Android not likely going to come in at any point of contact with this. Ethan will actually commit to the from the shadows from behind. 1v1 versus Daps. It would be a big one, but he gets worked around the barrier orb. The Hunter's Fury that comes through doesn't even stall the spike plant. NRG looking primed for 12 unless someone can absolutely pop off. Is it time for Asuna? Well, maybe. Finds himself 2. That will allow Hiko to get onto the site. Has to clear out showers. Does he get a timing here onto Android? Wants to try to push. Sees the weapon. Finds the kill. Asuna for 3. 2v2 situation. Now it falls on the shoulders of Asuna. Would have to be an ace. Gets information. Finds the 4th. Knows where the last player is. Paint Shell's trying to push him out, but can he actually find the kill in time? Blast back over. Asuna will use this to get at least to halfway in the defusal. Shanks on the opposite. Picture in picture. Oh my God! An ace for Asuna. Keeps 100 Thieves not just in the map, but maybe even gives him a bit of favor.
Speaking of favor, Hiko gives over all he can to Asuna and says, it's your turn. Now's the time, Asuna. Now's your time to get this ace, to get the clutch going. And with minimal time remaining, that was so close. Gets the defuse as well. I thought that it was going to come down to Shanks playing the timer, getting it down far enough that there wasn't going to be enough. And there's a tag pause. I bet this is coming from NRG. It's got to be an NRG tag pause, because that was disgusting for 100 Thieves. NRG were on their way to 12 rounds. We've actually confirmed it's 100 Thieves, and I guess 100 Thieves need a little bit of time to think about and digest what just happened there for themselves as well. They get themselves an ace. They need to figure out how to get more rounds in, 4 more rounds specifically to get to 11, and then on their way to 12, maybe 13. At that point, look, if 100 Thieves make their way to 10 and 11, I think this could go to another overtime. And I don't know if I'm ready for back-to-back OTs, but this has been an incredible series so far. Did not expect Suna to come out that big. 5 kills, an ace when 100 Thieves needed it the most.
Unbelievable. There's just no world that 100 Thieves looks at a situation and says that this isn't winnable. I mean, they had a 2v5 earlier that almost came through. Asuna essentially is forced to find the ace, and he does. He goes clutched up more times than I could count on both hands. And NRG have to be wondering, what else do we have to do? EU with an early Hunter's Fury does get one tag, not going to get the full elimination. Shanks trying to get away. Asuna, showstopper for damage, but no kills. So a lot of early engagement when we stay 5v5.
Still plenty of time to work with here as well. 100 Thieves have had the wall broken, so 2 players currently looking over towards Hookah. It's going to be a recon tag as well. Shanks gets Asuna. Traded though, massive from Asuna. Asuna wasn't supposed to be able to get a trade there. That was meant to be a 1-for-0, but the 1-for-1 is so good for 100 Thieves as Ethan also TPs over. Might be an over TP. No, he is going to be here in time because NRG are committing to B.
Daps good for one. Nitro trying to hold his ground will fall. Ethan is going to be the next one up. He's trying to get behind this play quickly, and he is already in here in Hookah, but he will reveal his position by trying to fire through the dark cover. Help is, though, on the way. It's Steel that will be here. 2v3 retake required. Bit of information off of the jump peak. Will there be any actual challenges to this play over by Hookah, though, is the real question. Steel just doing his work on the container. Has not found much, if any, damage whatsoever. Ethan now down and in. Not going to find the first kill into EU, and Sam picks up the rest. 12-7, NRG on map point.
And here we go. This is what NRG have needed. Get themselves over to a map point cleanly without too much ground to work with 100 Thieves to get towards an OT. Look, if 100 Thieves can get to another OT, it would be legendary. They would have to get 5 rounds in a row, including this round where they don't have anything to work with. They will have to force buy into as much as they can. You can just see there's just not enough equipment to go around. The money is incredibly minimal. People don't have ultimates as well. They have a Nero threat from Steel. It's not going to be enough at all. Looking over towards the NRG side, yeah, they don't really have ultimates either, but the showstopper will be more than enough. Double Bucky, you better hope that's enough for 100 Thieves. They have to set up for very close angles. They've doubled up in Hookah again, hoping NRG walk up close.
NRG taking their time, though, on this, as you would normally figure. Shanks, again, using a lot of his utility to clear out Hookah, of which he actually does find significant amount of damage onto Nitro, who, of course, will use the healing orb to get up. Asuna up close, though. Does Shanks expect maybe a second player nearby? The blast pack comes out, will push that player back, but there will be no contest, and we go to a minute 10 with a 5v5.
Drone is going to see EU. Does just expire in time as well, so EU doesn't need to fire too many shots. But they've confirmed that someone's here. That's actually pretty important for NRG. NRG look like they want to lean towards A, so just revealing that they still have members towards B, even a recon coming through, just keeps 100 Thieves interested. You see the 3 members of 100 Thieves still just holding on to B. NRG have now got a little bit of a window to play with to try and make something happen on A. They would have to push through soon. They got to get past all the steals, traps, and all of that. And they reveal that now, and this is where they go for the hit.
Blind showstopper connects onto Steel. It was just trying to be used to clear off the quad box, and Ethan in a cheeky corner could not find anything with it. NRG 5v2 now as EU finds the kill. They want to go to a set. 2 kills away from doing it. It all rests onto both Nitro and Hiko. And you've got a judge in the hands of Nitro. It would look to be an AR or a Guardian. No, it's a Bucky. I'm just kidding. It's just a weird skin. Makes his way forward. Does he see one? A lot of damage. Finds the kill. That should be a weapon collected. Clears the tight corner. Nitro will be the one with the weapon in hand. Daps, though, finds the immediate kill. It would have to be a 1v4. No chance. We'll see you on a set. 13-7 for NRG, and this one has the legs to go to all 3.
It's looking like a banger of a series. In fact, I mean, that's an understatement. It's looking like a banger of a series after the first map. Haven and NRG here. I mean, they felt like they probably could have won feeling good about in terms of where their strengths and weaknesses lie. So really what this says is NRG don't have a very good icebox right now. They don't want to go there. They're not prepared to go there. They would rather take 100 Thieves to Ascent, where they know 100 Thieves have been typically quite good on, rather than go to a map that they're not comfortable on. So that's NRG playing more to their own strengths rather than trying to counter strat or counter veto 100 Thieves too hard here. Looking actually at that time in game on Ascent that you brought up here, I mean, yes, they did have Android in that one. Yes, it was a 13-11, but they did really well on their defensive side. Their attacking side, though, they only got 4 rounds. So I do wonder, with NRG starting on the attack this time around, are they going to struggle? Is this going to be a very difficult attacking round? I know 100 Thieves are going to be a very methodical team. Looking over to the defensive side, I think that maybe that's where NRG can find a little bit more value, because NRG seemed to have, at least on buying, it looked like NRG had a close first half, and they've really cleaned up for the second half, and that's kind of what they need to do again.
You know, and in the past as well for 100 Thieves, their defense has been, I mean, just absolutely suffocating, it feels like at times. Not allowing too many options or instances where I feel like the spike is comfortably down. Their post-plant breakdown has been great, and I mean, they win on average about 80% of the time so far through Valorant Champions Tour in this first stage, which is incredible. Yeah. So it'll be interesting, because I feel like getting into this, knowing that NRG are attacking first, I'm looking at 4 as a success story for them, not only because their offense has been notoriously weak, but 100 Thieves' defense has been notoriously strong.
Yeah, I think I have to look at this from a lens of 100 Thieves. How do they play with their changed up roles and Ethan on the roster here as well? Because I think this team plays very differently now compared to when they had Dicey. There are certain things they were doing with Dicey in terms of, especially just using the jet. The fact they're not running the jet at all is a pretty big deal in terms of shifting up your play style, because, you know, Dicey is the kind of a player that you can use to contact a lot. 100 Thieves had the capability to play more like other teams out there with their duelists, now that they've only had the one duelist on a shooter who came up big on the ace clutch that we did see on, you know, one side of one round of bind. Now going over towards a map like Ascent, where once again it's no jet, it's going to be one duelist, 4 supports here, pretty much what we expected and now confirmed based on everyone's kind of, I guess, assessment on what they thought 100 Thieves were going to do. Over 3 maps, 100 Thieves have not opted for a double duelist at all, and this is actually going to be interesting as well, because this is a pretty big operator map, and Shanks has gone back to duelist, which means he is going to be playing op, and 100 Thieves are not going to be doing that, so I wonder how they're going to handle the op.
Well, it's one of those things that he'll be playing the operator is if, maybe more than when he's able to get it, because back to Haven, we kind of said the same thing, and there were only a couple of rounds that he was able to bring the operator to battle. Asuna will read a bit of information early. NRG not going to give up this, as they do have the spike committing to getting into A at the moment. Recon bolt will be sent out, so you have to imagine that NRG will likely be waiting for this take until they maybe get it charged again, unless this play to the tree is good. Eco, shock dart at his feet. A lot of damage, but no kills to speak of, and Nitro is currently stuck behind this barrier orb. He's going to see a bit of information, finds a kill, hello, and eventually falls. And so now, as NRG have taken the site, it's once again up to 100 Thieves, seeing if they can find a way to retake.
I mean, that was pretty funny as well. You see Salmon EU do a double take. Like, I think I saw someone behind the wall. Was there someone there? Yep, there was a player. Nitro was there. We'll get the kill. Technically, I mean, it's a bit of a cheesy play. Nitro can only get 1 kill there, likely before he goes down. It's a 4v2 now. I'm not expecting too much from 100 Thieves, unless maybe Steel can really make some magic happen. It's down to Eco, the clutch master, but 1 versus 4. It's too many members alive. They shoot his body again, and NRG pick up the pistol.
Very clean from NRG overall. Again, it just starts with that play through the tree. I mean, you use that recon bolt to clear off the wine cellar for NRG's approach. You have to figure that, well, you're not just going to flat rush through that, especially after Nitro had put himself again into a corner. But good response overall. Sam able to find 3 kills, Android 2 for the flawless pistol. Or pardon me, not flawless. They did lose EU on the attempt, but you will have the ability to, again, just, it seems to be pretty set up that if there's a pistol round win for NRG, they will put EU on some sort of a rifle. He's got an early bulldog.
I believe NRG have now won 5 pistols out of... No, they won 4 out of 5 pistols here, because 100 Thieves did pick up once. There's 1 more pistol in the second half of this still to play through. And a decent number of 100 Thieves members actually stacking over towards B. It's just Steel on the Bucky over towards A. He can definitely get a kill here. Will do so. Instantly falls off as well, so he can't be traded. Closes the door, and will play on the other side of the door, waiting for the rest of his team to potentially rotate over. NRG have not committed, though. And I don't know if that's a good enough gun for them to pick up. I mean, who do they lose? They lost Shanks. Shanks had a Spectre. Wasn't picked up anyway. There was already a Bucky on the other end, so yeah, it's fine.
Well, NRG are going to be mostly stacked in the middle of the map here. Daps will be the only player lingering over towards B. Ethan is just throwing some casual shoulders. Spy cam will go down, so that should be able to confirm to Ethan that there is somebody nearby. But the problem is they don't really know how many members are here in the middle of the map. And Android, if he pushes through this gateway, does he read information? The Outrun does not see Asuna, but it doesn't matter. Android still wins the battle. Now here comes the take from behind and the front simultaneously. Curveball in. Ethan will be flashed up and revealed, but Nitro for one. Sam trying to find a way to trade things around into favor of NRG, and boy, will he. Two with the Spectre, the quick swap over to the Ghosts. All he would need is a Phantom here to make this quite a spooky spectacle.
OHP though, so one good right click from Steel could at least get that kill. The other two will be much more difficult. Steel has to go absolutely large, and even if he gets a kill, I mean, I just see Steel being traded here. 80 HP now, position revealed, has to push through smoke as well. There's limited time. I don't think Steel really wants to save a Bucky, so he's definitely going to go for it. What? EU kills Som? Okay, that's really not the play NRG we're looking for.
Can Steel find timing to pick up another kill here? No. Interesting, to say the least, but NRG still retained their advantage and put the score to a 2-0 count.
Pretty, I don't know what to say about that, really. It's just one of those, like, whoops.
I had no words for it.
I mean, that was like when Som used From the Shadows and Android turned around and died to Ethan on Haven. That's reminded me of that again, except, you know, this time it was a team kill rather than anything else. But yeah, look, Som getting 3 kills here. Excellent shots. He was revealed by the recon as well. Minimal HP gets the plant. As From the Shadows available. Rushing From the Shadows in terms of timing here, not the best, but they are going to have at least one tick away for Android. All's going to get broken. One revealed here. Nitro could potentially get a kill. Depends on how confident he's feeling.
He's going to play it safe for now. He's already committed the barrier orb. A couple of the shock darts also spent. Nitro hoping for a bit of a jump peak for intel. None will be there, so NRG will essentially take this time to reset.
Wall not being broken, though, I think is a bit of an issue. NRG could have broken the wall. It leaves, you know, to see the doubt in 100 Thieves' mind. Because the wall's still there, there's no way NRG do anything over towards B main, at least for now. On the back being confirmed over towards A, and that's off the back of an orb. So here we go. NRG double ulting on towards A.
They do stick to get Sam on board. Ethan is the only defense member that was initially on the A site, but you also have to watch out for Steel as he continues to just lurk around corners. My goodness, how good is he at doing that? Boombot almost able to come into play, but nothing can make a difference. Asuno, another nice snap. 4v2 situation. Daps desperately trying to hold on. Patient shots from EU, but cannot find the kill into Nitro, leaving Daps at a 1v3. 16 health to play with. And, well, eventually all of the angles will be cleared. Although Daps has seen one and a second. If he gets this third, but not going to happen. I say maybe he finds the kill into Hiko and can snap to a second immediately, but will not occur, and 100 Thieves get on the board.
100 Thieves, they didn't even really need to do much more that round. I mean, it's a 3v1 where time's going to run out, energy can't plant. Daps doesn't have enough to work with, was just trying to go for at least one last kill there. Thought he had a time on to Hiko dropping the gun, but not the case. Take a look at what actually happens around Tree here. So we wonder how Steel gets the kill. Okay, it's already gone, but what actually happened based on memory was Android actually runs into the smoke where Steel was hiding, and he had the runner back. I'm not too sure if Steel actually killed the runner back, and then obviously Steel gets the following kill into, I believe it was Shanks. So Steel goes pretty massive over towards Tree to give 100 Thieves a really good shot that round, and well, they're going to pick up that round 3, and NRG are not going to have any sort of thrifty shenanigans.
A couple of sheriffs in hand here for NRG on this 4th round. Spike is with this play through mid for now. Alarmbot will keep the Cubby honest for Steel, who continues to just work this Bucky into play. Sam setting up. Oh, but Steel still finds the first kill. Nanostorm will also come in. He even reads the dash into play, but Shanks, after taking the brute force of one Bucky shot, will still find the kill and will go 4v4.
I mean, he's got a couple of pixels to work through. Still manages to find the right click. Ethan gets the kill into Daps as well, so no plant for now. Going to delay things for NRG. Low HP for Shanks. It's not looking great for their chance at the post plant. They're going to have to find another kill pretty quickly. Shanks, the position lineup. As soon as Ethan get cleaned up, that's 3 now that Shanks has got on board. 3v2 as well. 100 Thieves, nobody to heal. Hiko plus Nitro on an off angle. They have at least got Tree. Hiko on the recon. Destroyed.
Does get the read that there is a player in hell, but does he read that there are 2 players down low is the real question. Nitro seems to think that, okay, maybe we can get an isolated pick here, but EU shuts it down before it can really occur. Hiko in the dark cover does feel blessed to find one, but it would have taken a special second and a miraculous third. Will not occur. And we talked about NRG, you know, just historically, they've only played the map once. You know, it was versus time in. It was a very dicey moment, kind of playing through it. A 13-11 to score, and we were sitting there saying that their offense needed to show up, and so far it has. After the pistol round win, they come back and win the fourth.
I mean, what an incredible play by Shanks there to get the double kill, get the lineup there. It was looking good for 100 Thieves. They had a 4v3 situation with Shanks on minimal HP as well. One shot would have done it. And Shanks makes the best of the situation he was presented with, and that round goes over to NRG because of it. So now 3-1 guns still both ends here. 100 Thieves do have at least got the lockdown to play with, and further ults nearly there. Nitro 6 out of 7, Asuna 6 out of 7 as well.
Steel continues to make value out of the Bucky, this time playing aggressively into B main. NRG have taken the middle of the map, including the market. Steel wants to make a play. Paranoid's going to come through. He's not going to see anything. How far to push forward? The answer will be just to there. Ethan good for one, but the trades do favor NRG. That'll collect the spike, and it'll give him a 4v3 post-plant look here at B.
100 Thieves had no idea they lost mid-market there, so Android will get the flank kill. Now get the plant here as well. 100 Thieves still have 3 players alive, but they lose their lockdown. I think that was their biggest tool here. Yes, there was a Bucky on Steel. Yes, he was trying to get aggressive, but because he dies, that was the one big ultimate for the retake off the table now. And NRG even get the free heal onto Android. So the one member that was quite low that perhaps 100 Thieves could have killed is gone off the table. 100 Thieves now have entered B, but they have so much to clear.
2-2 post-plant setup. Nitro deals with one. They don't expect the second, but Daps is now revealed from the position with the Spectre. Blast Pack will push him around. Nitro for the kill. Retake looking pretty primed to go. 3v2 situation. Curveball for Android. Can't follow up on it. The Recon Vulcan reveals the position. They're going to stick for a resurrection as well. Simultaneously, Nitro finds the third. Shanks tails on the Blightstorm. Finds one. Finds the second. Looking for the full ace. Needs to find the fifth. He's actually killed largely enough time off. Oh, what a commitment that is for Shanks. Committed to the Bladestorm. It's good enough for NRG to hold the post point and go up 4-1.
And here you go. How about that? Some heroics coming through from NRG as well when the moments get really, really dire like that. And NRG look like they've lost it. A massive resurrection onto Ethan as well. The numbers heavily in favor of 100 Thieves. But they actually spend a decent amount of time clearing Daps. And I think, yeah, Daps kind of messes up as well. If we're not going to see Daps in the replay, but he had an opportunity to kill Asuna. Misses the shots, but he buys time. He buys enough time. The spike starts taking him down. 4 kills for Shanks. Using the Blaze Storm to get the majority of the last kills on that round, stopping the defuse coming in. Ethan dies as well, which means that Resurrection is not even going to allow 100 Thieves to keep a gun. They will have 3 ultimates to play through, though. Bit of a heartbreaking round for 100 Thieves, but a massive win for NRG in number 5.
Unbelievable. Hell of a start for NRG overall. We'll see how things go in this next offense.
I mean, I think every single half so far on all 3 maps have been a hell of a start for NRG. That's the one thing they've been able to consistently do no matter what side they start on. These have been a bit slowed. Steel's taking a bit of damage again. Still on the Bucky here. I mean, they don't have the best economy, I suppose, after losing that many rounds, so he's just trying to try and make the most out of it. The good news is, I was going to say he's alive, but because he dies, once again, no lockdown. No worries, it's NRG now, 3 versus 200 Thieves. Don't really have much more to work with there. I don't think Asuna's going to actually use the showstopper. Bucky, unlikely to find massive value on the long range. Time is definitely running out. A lot of potential exit kills, though, I think, for NRG. Heal coming through as well. That's free, doesn't cost them any money. This round is definitely going the way of NRG. The question will be, how many players can NRG walk out of the round with? 3 currently here. The TP coming in. Nitro, come on, gets the headshot. Get traded over. Sooner 1 HP now. Looking for a final shot. The right click isn't going to be good enough in Som. The tap on the classic. Both players make it out. Looking like 1 HP there also for Daps, but NRG with 3 remaining still managed to rescue 2. 2 guns walking into the next round. Still a decent amount of money for the rest of the players to be able to buy up. And now for 100 Thieves, they were on an eco. They are going to now look for 5 rifles, 4 ultimates in play as well. And I hold shift, ready to bring us into number 6.
It's the problems of living out in the mountains of North Carolina. Sometimes the wind blows the wrong direction and the internet decides it doesn't want to work. But we're back, we're good. NRG in a very good spot here through and through. I mean, being up 5-1 this early with ultimates to play. I mean, we talked about the fact that NRG coming into this map, again, the sample size was small, but they would have needed to do something great, especially offensively, and so far they have absolutely provided as once again they try to posture themselves in the middle of the map.
So another early wall coming through from Nitro. This might allow one of them to shift off of the map. One of the areas that 100 Thieves did not have control over previously was mid-market, and that's where NRG grouping up again now with the runner back in hand as well. I mean, Ethan's close by. He might have some ability to do something here. I do expect that if it is going to be a mid-to-B play, Cloudburst from Shanks will cover the entry, followed by Android just kind of rushing in, shooting some shots here as well. 100 Thieves actually might want to start rotating over. They have good ultimate, so I think if 100 Thieves lose control of sight on B, as long as they can make some trades happen between Hiko and Nitro, the lockdown will be good enough to get them the retake.
Well, we'll see if it does unfold. It's going to be the run it back first. NRG clearing out mid-market. The door is not shut on this play. Nitro denies the run it back from finding too much information. Now EU into the Hunter's Fury, trying to clear off that back archway, but he's missed largely about everything. So NRG, as they move forward just with the weaponry, it's good for a couple. Hiko almost, but only with a find of one of what would have been lovely to get a second. Showstopper in the play, quickly for Asuda finds one, actually able to use the blast back to stay alive, and Ethan has found a kill. What a retake that is from 100 Thieves. One more player to deal with this Android. Spike is though being held. Android good for one, but the hot hands does not connect, and the retake is good, even in the face of Android's 3 kills.
And that was going to be a heroic round from Android. He killed Steel, he removed the lockdown from play, but Asuna finding value on the Showstopper, and he hasn't found a lot of value on the Showstopper today. He's missed plenty of them. Sometimes wasn't necessarily his fault. You'll see Daps pretty clear, right on the backside, nowhere for Daps to run, easy kill, and then he stays alive on 35 HP, gets more value, finds more kills, 100 Thieves clean up on site, goes for the defuse, and Android is too far away after using the runner back to really do too much about the hot hands. Would have to connect perfectly, it does not, and the round finally for 100 Thieves turning their way. They needed this round because otherwise they're going to be 1 in 6, and so 2 and 5 is still workable.
Wow, the recovery that we've seen from this 100 Thieves squad is just unreal. But NRG still find themselves in a very advantageous position. EU will catch information that there is a player defensively playing in hell. Ultimate Orb will be recovered, and that seems to be all that NRG really wanted from this play.
No pressure this time over towards B. And I don't think the wall's been used yet either, so Nitro still holding onto that one. Could be good for a retake in just a minute. They are pressuring mid-market again. 100 Thieves have had not great success in holding mid-market, which is why Steel's committed there now. And as you'd expect, again, with the Bucky, Ethan holding him towards Heaven, and NRG coming over towards A.
Here comes the hit. Cloudburst in play, but the flash is good. Asuna finding the kill also. That means the spike carrier's down, but Sam responds to both defensive players in the A site. Hunter's Fury coming out. Hiko able to find the first kill onto Sam. Would love to get more, but not able to do too much. No damage to speak of either, as Android will recover the spike, immediately stick for a plant, and there'll be a 2v3 retake required. Daps is just on a sheriff, but we've seen him do incredible things with this pistol, one of which might be right around the corner. Him versus Nitro.
Oh my god!
You couldn't write a better script than that. And it's just up to Hiko for a 1v3, and I guess I'll pay him the same due diligence. We've seen him do incredible things in situations like this as well.
I think if Nitro gets that kill, this is a different round. It's 2 versus 2, possible retake. Hiko's just trying to take a bit of revenge for his teammate that will do so, but that might be all he gets. EU gets the cleanup there, and NRG don't have to use anything further. 2 alive still, and look, Daps only started with the Sheriff on this round either, so him dying, pretty inconsequential. They don't lose an extra gun for that. I mean, they lose the ability to collect an extra gun off the floor, which is what he would have been able to do, but they'll be able to buy up. So that shot from Daps onto Nitro, crispy. Nitro felt that one for sure, as 100 Thieves now walk over towards round number 9 with a couple of ultimates still waiting for the lockdown. Rez is in play again. They are so far behind on this map, and again, this is meant to be their good map. This is meant to be 100 Thieves favored, and they are down a lot of rounds.
Look, everything changes when you kind of mix up your roster, and I think, again, we've said it more times than enough here, but you mess up with the roles as well, and it forces you maybe into things you're not necessarily comfortable. Delayed peek from Daps is good. Sam, hello. Ethan just backs that thing up right into his face. Now it's a 5v3 situation, and 100 Thieves looking for something desperate to keep him in this round.
I mean, all 100 Thieves can really hope for is they're either going to wait for NRG to maybe walk into some crosshairs, hold close. I don't even need to say it anymore, but Steel has a Bucky. Really hoping someone needs to can walk into Steel here, but at this point in time, NRG with just under a minute can kind of go wherever they want. Spike is leaning over towards B. You already have Hiko shifting off, as is Nitro. They might want to consider stacking. I mean, the only real chance they have is to stack somewhere. If things go good, they can maybe go for a res, pick up some guns, and win that way, but it's not looking great. NRG should be looking at 7 here.
Can they make things interesting? Right click for Steel. Not going to get a chance to cock it back and find a second shot. Shanks right over the top of the boathouse. Not going to see anything inside this B site. And Sam will make sure that Hiko cannot rotate over safely. Just down to 1. It's Nitro, and it looks like EU has read this play. Nitro with the pistol keeps things interesting for a moment, but at this point, it's just down to, can he recover any weapons? Okay, hold on a second. Another 1v1 on the cards. It's him versus Android. Barrier Orb gets placed. Nitro's able to stay alive for a touch, but Android deals with the distraction of the Barrier Orb, finds the kill, and NRG will eventually put themselves up 7-2.
Makes it a little bit more expensive. Nitro with 2 kills that the NRG didn't expect to lose, so not quite a flawless. They will be able to trade at least a few guns back and forth, just preventing Nitro from taking a free gun into the next, so that, you know, he has to buy up again, and otherwise it could have been, could have maybe dropped over something. Steel finally has a rifle. I feel like this is the first round that Steel's actually had a rifle to play through. This will be where Nitro and Steel would probably like to use some of these ultimates, especially the Resurrection. There'll be the second res so far in the half for Nitro, I believe. Straight away, Paranoia's already been blown.
Shanks, goodness, nearly caught out. Does get away, stays alive, and that might be more than you would have normally expected. Sam gets caught.
Down.
That's the spike down. Steel just finding value round after round with this Bucky. Shanks trying to work through the middle of the map. This is a big 1v1, and he actually catches Nitro finessing for a Barrier Orb. Run it back, coming out. Curveball denied. Steel able to help take care of the first illusion of the Phoenix. Has to back down as the Aldrone scouts him out, and NRG, they're trying to still force the round peg into a square hole here, and they'll eventually get on if they get the kill after Steel.
Now the 3v4 retake with a post-plant Hunter's Fury as well. Not in the best place, so I'd like to see EU maybe go towards where Shanks is, maybe swap positions. And at this point, though, 100 Thieves have to think about whether they want to go for the retake or not. There's not a lot of rounds left, though, so if they don't go for the retake, they sacrifice another one over to NRG, 8-2. Android kills Ethan, and now 2 alive. There's really just not going to be any time. And if EU is at least going to use an ultimate, Hiko makes it slightly more expensive. Hiko, or sooner rather, if he goes for this, likely is just going to die.
Well, he does find one pretty darn cleanly. Knows the second one's down low, but EU ready for the challenge. Takes the win. And NRG up 8-2. Another massive round in their back pocket. We'll put 100 Thieves in a very interesting position. You know Steel's going to continue to bring out the Bucky, because why not? And Nitro says that looks like fun. Let me give that a try as well.
I actually thought Steel did have the rifle last round. I checked the end round. I checked the scoreboard before we actually went into the round. It did say he had a Phantom, so must have sold and, you know, put up his preferred weapon, apparently. And like you said here as well, Nitro is going to give that one a go. They found some good available. It's not been the worst pick. It does feel a little bit forced round after round after round after round after round. It's been nearly every single round. And 100 Thieves, I think they've fallen apart here. I think they've completely fallen apart on Ascent. It looks like full NRG control. These rounds are not getting close enough. I mean, there was still some trades back and forth, but it does feel like NRG have full control over this map now.
Well, especially for this round, they should be able to put themselves up onto 9. Opening shots really, really well placed, as Ethan's able to connect but can't confirm the kill. So he will Shrouded Step teleport away. And with that, now 100 Thieves find themselves with a 4-man stack over towards B, and the only defender is actually playing close by Cubby. Bounce pass here for Asuna. Paint shells wonderfully placed, but still can't confirm a kill. A lot of damage, though. This makes things much more doable for 100 Thieves, especially when you've got a shotgun first steal. They find first blood.
I gotta be honest, he's getting a lot of value. As soon as he gets a kill now, it's all 5 versus 3, and this is suddenly doable. If they can get some guns, that would be massive for the side. 100 Thieves. Shanks goes down also, and another kill. 100 Thieves. We're about to win this thrifty off, what, 2 Buckies, a Frenzy Sheriff, and a Ghost. NRG losing this round. I mean, I just gassed them up by saying they had control over this map, and 100 Thieves are completely torn that apart. EU now is about to walk into a free kill from Nitro. There's no way. Nitro is just going to clean this one up.
There's the peek. Click, click, boom. Another thrifty on the cards for 100 Thieves. That is a incredibly important round for 100 T. I mean, you're looking down what seems to be a smoking barrel of potentially 210 on, again, statistically, what has been your favorite half. Not great news. You salvage that Thrifty, and now potentially you can maybe even salvage the entire half by trying to exit 4-8, where you've got a Resurrection, a Lockdown, a Showstopper to play with.
Turret out.
Yeah, you're going to feel pretty fortunate to be in the position that you're in, even considering the circumstances.
Definitely stacked for the last round. The other thing they don't have is going to be full armor on Steel, but, you know, as we confirmed there, finally, Steel is going to have the full rifle, and Nitro's got even one better that answers the question of who's going to op on this team, who's going to snipe on this team. It's going to be Nitro over in the mid, boosting up. The wall's been spent. And that's going to give them the 5v4 in a round where 100 Thieves are already looking pretty resourceful. Add one kill to the tally, why don't you? And Som can't make his way through mid, will get spotted by the drone.
Android is just going to push forward, though. The spike is not a part of this play, so Android's going to have to finesse for a while, and ooh, he gets caught with no ammunition. Sentry turret becomes more of a hassle than he would have normally anticipated. Door will go down, and he will try to break. Nitro will fall. Operator now off the table. 4v4. The spike has made its way on, and Daps will get the plant off successfully. Lockdown immediately going to come through as response for not just one team, but the recon bolt will be there to try to deny an immediate push through, and NRG will get away from this safely. Just comes down to how are they going to retake their own spike site. Showstopper now coming forward. Asuna trying to clear things out. Does find the kill on Android, but the trade is there for EU. Som as well. Also finds not just one, but a second. Steel is sticking for a defuse, but is getting pushed off by the recon bolt. And NRG, they will exit the half 9-3 in a prime position to take down this new 100 Thieves squad. We'll see if that can indeed occur when we come back after the halftime. 9 needing a big comeback.
It's going to be Haven all over again, but this time it's unfortunately a little bit more difficult. Look, we've seen a 4-8. 100 Thieves came back from that. Now it's a 9-3, so 100 Thieves would need to get 9 rounds in this half to force the OT. And another pistol where so far NRG have been favored on pistols. They've won 4 out of the 5 last pistols, so this is the last pistol we're going to see in the series. Is it going to be 5 out of 6 for NRG, or maybe 2 and 4 at least in terms of how the pistols have gone?
100 Thieves posturing for a very early take of the A site. Barrier Orb goes down, but Som in the top corner finds a kill and tries to teleport away. Asuna will find the immediate response. Eco, can he maybe find some timing here as Shanks is close by to this Barrier Orb, but is not taking any shots. Steel is making sure the back stays safe by watching through mid-map. And if he finds timing, maybe there's an opportunity for another free kill. At least a little bit of damage will be confirmed, and the NRG retake will be stalled pretty convincingly. But now that the orbs have fallen away, Steel, mid, able to find another kill. Hiko, recon bolt in hand, away from Cloudburst to fade away. It's on to Ethan, at least go 1 for 1, and he does. Shots from Hiko, another headshot comes into play. Shock darts being exchanged. He backs away from it, but the recon bolt finds nothing and Steel falls. NRG, if they win this pistol, is it potentially game? Maybe not, because the Nanostorm finds the first kill. Android finds elimination, but he will not get here in time, and 100 Thieves take a required pistol round.
Steel staying alive there for so long, getting the kill over towards mid on Daps as well. Hiko staying alive over towards A main. Massive plays from these two players. To the veterans on the team here, showing up big time on the pistol. So yeah, it's not going to be NRG dominating every single pistol round. I go halves here. And 100 Thieves keeping the dream alive, at least for now. That pistol win, I think, was pretty required to at least make this competitive, to at least get them to 4 and 9. They should be able to clean up the anti-eco, so 5 and 9 will be the eventual scoreline. And after that, we can start talking about how they can make a proper comeback happen. No Bucky just yet for Steel, going towards the Bulldog for now, and NRG still pretty comfortable in terms of where their lead is. Just need to see how they handle this round in the next, specifically the next round, as we don't expect too much here from the Thrifty.
But expectations have been damned so far, it feels like, in this series. EU just holding onto a shock dart just in case he does read some information. This is a 4-man defensive stack for NRG, leaning towards B. The only player that's actually over towards the A site right now is Android, and he's actually playing through trees. So technically speaking, if 100 Thieves have the right timing on this hit, they could walk into the A site relatively freely, but instead they're going to play mid-map. Oh,
Patience so far, it's a ton of damage, and thankfully it's Nitro who does have a heal. Actually, it would have been better on another play, because they could have healed them back to full HP. Nitro will go up to, like, just barely above half. But they were just waiting to see if NRG were going to make any pushes. Just the one nice tap coming through from Android down from short. Now making their way up to the mid-market, potentially looking for a play, and it's going to clean out Shanks, the Boombot, so well played by Suna.
But again, this is 100 Thieves running into where NRG are defensively stacked up. They do find first blood onto Som. Daps trying to back into the site. Desperate times, calling for desperate measures here. Ethan, first one forward, but no, it's the Sheriffs, and all the shorties also finding value. At the end, 100 Thieves will be able to win the site, but it comes at a cost, and now you're dealing with Android. Yeah, he's at low HP, but you feel like anything is possible with the Sheriff in his hands.
Nitro healed up back to full now, so enough time for Nitro to get 2 heals so far in this round. Obviously, the first one was available at the start of the round. 17 health here, no hot hands, no extra heals. Android would need 2 taps, and he would have to find them quickly as well. I suspect that 100 Thieves, even if Android gets a kill, they'll just trade him. His position's been revealed now.
If he hits that shot, though, the play would be very much so alive. Weapons down low. Android looks like he's just going to give up the play for the defuse and see if he can maybe catch one more kill, earning him closer and closer to that run it back. Comes down to the timing here. Nitro, the one to come across, misses the first headshot. A lot of his shots on both sides, but Nitro eventually cleans it up.
Last player standing.
And dies as well, so they're not going to be able to take through too many of the purchased weapons into what is going to be supposed to be the gun around here. Importantly, though, Asuna did buy a rifle in that last round, and he kept the rifle going into this. So that's going to be the most important gun for them to have, at least a hero rifle. Nitro's going to buy up as well. Okay, well, apparently 100 Thieves are not going to play the bonus here. I wonder if Ethan maybe goes for something as well. There it is, another rifle. No, they're going to fully buy into it. There's not going to be a bonus round now for 100 Thieves. They're going to purchase up.
Bold call, but down 4 rounds. Feeling the pressure of needing to get themselves competitive here in this next round. And I think the question, will NRG expect this play as far as what weapons are available? You saw it there for a moment. I don't think there was a single full heavy armor in play, though, for 100 Thieves, so they will be a touch weakened by this purchase.
If 100 Thieves can win this one, they are on board for making a clean comeback on Ascent. This is very similar to what I said on Haven as well. There was that one pivotal round where they forced, and winning that one is what got them through and what really started that journey into making that comeback possible, hitting into the OT. And I think this is that round again. And 100 Thieves, they have enough guns, they have enough rifles, they don't have full armor, they do have heals. They're not quite on for enough ultimate steals, one away from getting this lockdown. That could be absolutely massive. Daps check open, and that's the first customer. That's what 100 Thieves need.
And Shanks gets caught out mid-map. Oh, Android flirts with disaster in middle, but is able to harness. So now it's on to EU. Oh, that's a big first elimination on this exchange. That's a spike carrier down for a small moment. Recon bolts will be exchanged. Ethan's still trying to work his way in, but Android is here to help defend against this, having second doubts as far as would this actually be a commitment to B. And they will send Som to solo play to A. Run it back will be spent here for NRG. Curveball out. Oh my headshots from Android. Also on the back though. Does find one and a second. Time becoming a problem. The 1v1. Asuna trying to work his way out of the site, but slipping away will be EU. And 100 Thieves have a hell of a look at it. But in the end, it's NRG who slipped the net and take their 10th round.
NRG are feeling good about themselves. EU, they're dropping the bag as well. 10-5 here. Very important round for 100 Thieves to try and win, considering they forced into it. Again, no bonus. That would have been the bonus. It's gone now. And Android, with the massive shot on the runner back, finds the spike as well, prevents any hope for 100 Thieves to actually get a plant. It would have to be Asuna finding the kill, and like you said, the EU just slipping by. Asuna can't find it, the time runs out, and that's gone. I'm gonna force again. 100 Thieves know, look, the only real chance of making a good comeback is to just find these rounds. If they save and they put energy on 11, 5-11 feels extremely bad. To be honest, they could do that, but I respect 100 Thieves for making the call to force again.
It's a damaging opening shock dart. Aldrin will also scout this out. Boombot being spent. We'll read that there is another contestant inside. Showstopper immediately, but oh, Daps just runs right through and finds the kill, leaving Asuna out to dry, in which EU finds the kill. Also, the flank potentially going to be a consideration as Shanks has worked his way around this play, and 100 Thieves are now bottled and trapped right around B main. They're trying to exit backwards.
Shanks.
He's got to play time. He's going to hear all of these footsteps. And now the timing of the call finds a lot of damage. able to find one with help of Android for another, just down to Nitro. Healing Word will get him back to respectable health, but Spectre at long range versus the Vandal of Android, you don't feel good about it. And NRG now find themselves up 11-5.
And it's getting to the point now where you are needing to ask for miracles for 100 Thieves. It's that dire. We're looking at 5-11, looking at no money through repeated forces. They are now going to respectfully go towards pistols. Realistically speaking, I think at this point in time, I mean, forcing wouldn't be out of the question. If they can win one force, it would be acceptable. I mean, that was kind of the thinking for 2 rounds in a row. Now they're going to finally eco, play for the guns on what would be NRG's match point. And then 100 Thieves would have to win how many rounds in a row? Like 8 rounds in a row to actually get this win. Well, 7 rounds in a row just to get to the OT, actually.
All right, well, it's going to take some massive efforts here. Android first one up, tagged. Going to get up the angle. Shanks is here for help in case it's required, which it very well may be. Slow Orb comes down. Ethan's going to find one kill with the hot hands able to respond. The boom bot a lot of value. Hunter's Fury is also out here for eco, and goodness, he may have just done more damage to his teammates than he did to his opponents for a moment there. Dap's still alive inside tree. We'll find another elimination, and it comes down to Hiko. 100 HP and a Sheriff, and maybe the hopes and dreams of trying to extend this, but it's going to be now match point for NRG. 12-5 in map 3. 100 Thieves would have to pull off a miracle.
I think no one really, or very few people would have really come into the series thinking that NRG was going to be the winning team from here. I mean, there were always questions in mind.
Yeah, tons of questions.
How synergized were 100 Thieves going to be? How is Ethan going to integrate into the roster? How does how does Nitro look on his new position? What is a team without Dicey going to look like for 100 Thieves? Do they need more time? And, you know, they don't have time. They've got one shot at making Masters. They're about to be sent into the losers bracket here. I don't want to call it, but look at the scoreline. I mean, you got to explain to me how 100 Thieves are supposed to do this now if you don't want me to call it.
Oh, especially not just down 1, but down a second with Shanks Operator on the table. Resurrection's available. It should be able to get the player over towards the back of Catwalk freely. But the rest of this round will be a 4v5. And are they actually... Okay, so they're considering trying to bring the Omen back just to see if they can get some use out of it from the shadows. But of course, the utility from Hiko, absolutely the right call.
So they've worked their way up into A main so far. I mean, NRG is just playing this one very slowly and safely as well. They've placed defaults 2 over to B, 1 in mid, 2 over towards A, ready for any rotations. You just have to not have NRG members die for no reason. They'll be fine. In fact, Shanks even might have time to get us operator to heaven. He does. Now Shanks getting an opening kill. It's huge.
Barrier Orb gets placed as kind of a defensive screen on the way in, but it does not keep Nitro alive. Daps up top, trying to assist just to make sure that Shanks is not fully challenged. Last hope for 100 Thieves. Rests on the shoulders of 3. NRG going to give away the plant. Shanks full utility and a blade storm. Sees the head, misses the first blade. Also tagged down quite low. And how about the paint shells? Pushing them back, getting a little bit of extra breathing room for 100 Thieves. But now here comes the hit. Over the top, Shanks for his 3rd elimination. Sam finds the 4th, just down to Hiko. Flash, oh, Android was trying to play for the BM knife. Not gonna make a difference. NRG, a welcoming party for Android. A little bit of humor and comedy for him as well. They take the 13-5 and send 100 T to the lower bracket, where they'll have to play up against T1.
Families would be next.
And now the questions are asked. You mean, is this an upset? You know, where people underrating NRG? I think I might have been. NRG, look at this is a much more powerful team. This is probably the best that NRG have ever looked in terms of how they've been playing. Super close Haven, very dominant bind overall. I mean, yeah, they did lose some very, unfortunate rounds there in bind where massive players coming through from quite a few members of 100 Thieves were deservedly able to get some clutches there. Force situation, I think, was 9-4. 100 Thieves might be feeling pressured to go towards the Force. 8-5 is still a close enough scoreline that allowing NRG to go 9 here isn't the worst thing in the world. I think EU and the rest of NRG will be pretty well scaled to go into the next round, though. I believe DAF should be going towards a rifle. They should have at least 2 rifles, assuming they don't lose too many players going through this particular round. But, we've seen 100 Thieves win Thrifties before. Early damage on a Hiko, and he's down.
And Shanks will now be responsible for this teleporter play, which sees all of 100 Thieves here. Here comes the swing. Shanks good for one. Lots of damage into a second paint shells just to keep him safe. Help has also arrived in the form of EU. And NRG have only dropped one in this exchange. Spike has been planted. Nitro by himself. Gonna get overwhelmed. NRG, as expected, put themselves up 9-5.
So Daps had 2k in the bank. He'll have about 5k-ish total now, plus any extras. I don't remember if he got a kill or not. Dropped a Frenzy, pretty inconsequential. 2 rifles there as expected. EU arriving on 1 from the previous round. Everyone else survived, so they don't need to rebuy here. 3 Spectres, 2 Phantoms. Pretty powerful 3rd round bonus coming through from NRG, and still with extra in the bank if they do lose this round to play further with. I wonder if they're going to speed up here. 100 Thieves have everything as you'd expect. No real timings on ultimate. Android is actually 1 away, so I'd lie. If they can get Android and Orb and Showers, this could be huge.
You kind of see that 100 Thieves do not want to allow that to happen. They've got 3 defensive members that are playing here. Daps is still considering maybe the possibility of working his way in, but with all these taps back and forth, could be a very unfortunate game of tag. Steel, backed up by a blast pack. He'll be all right. He'll still hold the position if he so chooses. And again, we tilt our attention back over towards this A shower battle, which seems to be ongoing and everlasting.
Respect that 100 Thieves are going for this, by the way. They know that this orb is going to be contested by NRG. They don't actually have any info in short, so they're just hoping that nothing bad is happening short. Hiko's got rough eyes on it. He's just kind of there, isn't able to see too much. Walls down over towards long as well. So for the 2 players, 100 Thieves over towards B, they just need to worry about Hookah for now. Paranoia comes on through, and oh my goodness. Ooh, the smoke is going to be a sooner. So that's going to be now. Run it back off the table.
A lot of commitment for NRG to try to make that play happen. Steel will be taking a pretty hefty amount of damage off of a very good opening paint shell. So Spike is a part of this play. Steel try to stay alive. Not able to use the cyber cage to take down Shanks. So we go 4v4. 28 seconds to play. Spike is on site. Sam is going to try to hold for this. Does catch a shock dart in the process, but will successfully get the plant off. So 4v4. We go spam shots from Hiko? What in the world?
That's ridiculous. I mean, that's good enough now that 100 Thieves should be able to cleanly retake this one. There's 3 over towards long. A little bit more util will lock them out. There's no wall. There's no smoke for another 10. Okay, Shanks are going to make it interesting. The recon could be pretty huge as well. They haven't quite deleted the recon yet. Time is going to maybe be an issue here.
EU's going to be good for 1 and a second, not a third. Ethan, 1v1 situation. Doesn't expect the last player is also over towards B long. Zaps kept himself concealed the entire way, and NRG go up 10-5.
Dab shooting the body as well. Not the first time we've seen that so far in this matchup, but they had no util. I was thinking, okay, I mean, they can get this. All they got to do is kind of cage it off, or, you know, rather, I was thinking more towards the smoke from Ethan. You look over at Ethan, it's like still on cold. It's not quite there yet. Nitro doesn't have enough util. And suddenly, what could have been a pretty good retake off the back of Hiko's massive kill through the wall ends up not working out because the util isn't there to clear through into long. And so the 3 long players there from NRG just make it work. They have no hookah control. And it's still good. Spam through the smoke now. It's a little bit of damage. A lot of damage, actually. Look at the health of Ethan.
Yeah. Down to critical HP. Daps trying to deny the ultimate orb being captured, but cannot successfully break the barrier orb, so getting away will be Nitro. And now he's going to have to essentially wait for Ethan to make the rotation over to get him healed up, which he is on the way for. Android moving forward. Here comes the blast pack initiation from Shanks. On the way in. A lot of information on where exactly the Sage is playing, but Steel was never checked, so he finds 1. Is that going to be enough? Daps 1v1, able to take down Nitro. 4v3 we go. And the Spike has made its way, well, not yet. Should be able to make its way onto A, but they're not feeling confident about this yet. Our NRG, and they're actually going to rotate away from this play.
Now, there is a gun on the floor. If NRG rotate away from this one, the gun will be free to pick up. You do see a player still here. Som should have the off angle. Asuna doesn't check it. He's even caught swapping guns. Ethan long range is taken down by EU, and 100 Thieves now no longer have to rotate towards B. They can just keep playing here. They'll get the free plant. Daps will clean up the last kill on minimal HP. They'll collect the extra money from the plant itself. 4 players alive. Pretty comfortable. They don't have to burn the runner back, like I said before. Ideally, they just use one of either showstopper or runner back, and not both, and they'll now have the runner back available for this round.
Big opportunity for NRG. Again, their pick was Haven. That went to 32 rounds. Tilted, as you see on the scoreboard there in favor of 100 Thieves, but this would be a 100 T's pick. And I have to imagine that it comes with maybe a touch of criticism considering the fact that they are just 2 and 3 in this map overall. But, you know, again, this is a brand new roster, all things considered, and they have hard vetoed out split. So it would be a scent that would be waiting for us if NRG can close this game out. Still some work to do. We know that 100 Thieves have been, I won't say in worse positions, but similar ones, and they've been able to clutch things up. Daps will read information, and that will be enough for him to say, I'm not interested. He'll back away. Ethan able to find one and steal another as they just dart down the long, trying to cut off the rotation as Shanks, but only gets 1 of 2.
Okay, here we go. 100 Thieves. I mean, they even have an extra resurrection if they want to play into it, but I think the 4v2 advantage is enough. 100 Thieves still need to potentially be a bit greedy, hold on to extra util to make this comeback happen. And yeah, it's going to have to be another comeback now as the wall comes down. Well placed, stops anyone from TPing as well. Does get broken down in terms of one segment. Less than 1 minute to play through. Spike has been recovered. Where do NRG go? I don't know they want to necessarily spend this ultimate. They would get far more value out of it on a future round. I think they realize their hopes of winning this round are not that high. If you do spend this ultimate, their hope would have to be that they can bait out like a showstopper in response and go for 1v1 trade in terms of ults. But they are going to go for this play. I think they got the money for it. They certainly have the rounds to burn, Alan. So here we go. NRG walking to B.
Defensively, Ethan playing through the elbow. Hiko over towards the defender spawn. Ethan will get first point of contact. Sees the information, just backs down. Wants to make sure that help can be there. Also still holding onto a paranoia. Will throw that out, but no one can really convert onto this. So the spike will be planted. That's a flash that's down. Teleporter play from Nitro as he makes his way around the back through Hookah. Showstopper does get baited out. That should be confirming for a kill, but Ethan finds that anyways, and Android still walks away with 2. So not bad at all. NRG punished in a major way in what seemed to be an unwinnable situation. They get the spike down, they force out the showstopper and the resurrection beyond that with a couple of kills.
Yeah, I think they need the money here, and this is where, you know, who do they give this charge over? Maybe Hiko takes the defuse, certainly is. Hiko's probably closer than everyone else to the Hunter's Fury. There it is, earns Hunter's Fury off that resurrection as well. But by the way, we've seen, we go back to the first half, by the way, Hiko getting a Hunter's Fury off the back of a res actually won them around the following round. So pretty big play from Nitro, I think, to find the value there. That was a must-win round for 100 Thieves, because if they drop that round, that was going to be their last buy probably for the half, because NRG would be on 12, 100 Thieves would have to force. Kiss buying goodbye, and onto Ascent we go, but still keeping this one competitive for now. Steel, no one can drop him a gun, so I guess he goes Guardian, something like that. No, Phantom. No, he just barely has enough. He'll sell some util and he'll be okay. And 4 ultimates for NRG, 3 for 100 Thieves, but notably Hiko has a 100 Fury, and I think that could make the difference.
We will find out. Ethan will bait the teleporter over towards A long. That will keep Daps at bay for some time. Shanks using a lot of utility trying to clear out Hookah. Also deletes the spy cam. Still contesting will be Steel. And as the cyber cage comes out, he will actually play through this and forward, trying to catch Shanks off guard, but that will not occur. And we've got a very early 5v4 in favor of NRG's attack.
Yeah, Steel was kind of making a bit of a gamble there, hoping that he was going to check right side and no one was going to be on the hard left, and he was going to maybe find a timing. They knew that there was going to be players long, so Steel's maybe looking for a timing down ramp to get a few kills on players that were backing out, but no res as well for 100 Thieves. Again, they used it the last round for tempo, and now they're going to have to really make use of that tempo as the runner back comes in.
Android not likely going to come in at any point of contact with this. Ethan will actually commit to the from the shadows from behind. 1v1 versus Daps. It would be a big one, but he gets worked around the barrier orb. The Hunter's Fury that comes through doesn't even stall the spike plant. NRG looking primed for 12 unless someone can absolutely pop off. Is it time for Asuna? Well, maybe. Finds himself 2. That will allow Hiko to get onto the site. Has to clear out showers. Does he get a timing here onto Android? Wants to try to push. Sees the weapon. Finds the kill. Asuna for 3. 2v2 situation. Now it falls on the shoulders of Asuna. Would have to be an ace. Gets information. Finds the 4th. Knows where the last player is. Paint Shell's trying to push him out, but can he actually find the kill in time? Blast back over. Asuna will use this to get at least to halfway in the defusal. Shanks on the opposite. Picture in picture. Oh my God! An ace for Asuna. Keeps 100 Thieves not just in the map, but maybe even gives them a bit of favor.
Speaking of favor, Hiko gives over all he can to Asuna and says, it's your turn. Now's the time, Asuna. Now is your time to get this ace, to get the clutch going. and with minimal time remaining. That was so close. Gets the defuse as well. I thought that it was going to come down to Shanks playing the timer, getting it down far enough that there wasn't going to be enough, and there's a tag pause. I bet this is coming from NRG. It's got to be an NRG tag pause, because that was disgusting for 100 Thieves. NRG were on their way to 12 rounds. We've actually confirmed it's 100 Thieves, and I guess 100 Thieves need a little bit of time to think about and digest what just happened there for themselves as well. They get themselves an ace. They need to figure out how to get more rounds in, 4 more rounds specifically to get to 11, and then on their way to 12, maybe 13. At that point, look, if 100 Thieves make their way to 10 and 11, I think this could go to another overtime. And I don't know if I'm ready for back-to-back OTs, but this has been an incredible series so far. Did not expect Suna to come out that big. 5 kills, an ace when 100 Thieves needed it the most.
Unbelievable. There's just no world that 100 Thieves looks at a situation and says that this isn't winnable. I mean, they had a 2v5 earlier that almost came through. Asuna essentially is forced to find the ace, and he does. He goes clutched up more times than I could count on both hands. And NRG have to be wondering, what else do we have to do? EU with an early Hunter's Fury does get 1 tag, not going to get the full elimination. Shanks trying to get away. Asuna, showstopper for damage, but no kills. So a lot of early engagement, but we stay 5v5.
Still plenty of time to work with here as well. 100 Thieves have had the wall broken, so 2 players currently looking over towards Hookah. It's going to be a recon tag as well. And Shanks gets Asuna. Traded though, massive from Asuna. Asuna wasn't supposed to be able to get a trade there. That was meant to be a 1-for-0, but the 1-for-1 is so good for 100 Thieves as Ethan also TP's over. Might be an over TP. No, he is going to be here in time because NRG are committing to B.
Daps good for 1. Nitro trying to hold his ground, will fall. Ethan is going to be the next one up. He's trying to get behind this play quickly, and he is already in here in Hookah, but he will reveal his position by trying to fire through the dark cover. Help is, though, on the way. It's Steel that will be here. 2v3 retake required. Bit of information off of the jump peak. Will there be any actual challenges to this play over by Hookah, though, is the real question. Steel just doing his work on the container. Has not found much, if any, damage whatsoever. Ethan now down and in. Not going to find the first kill into EU, and Sam picks up the rest. 12-7, NRG on map point.
And here we go. This is what NRG have needed. Get themselves over to a map point cleanly without too much ground to work with 100 Thieves to get towards an OT. Look, if 100 Thieves can get to another OT, it would be legendary. They would have to get 5 rounds in a row, including this round where they don't have anything to work with. They will have to force buy into as much as they can. You can just see there's just not enough equipment to go around. The money is incredibly minimal. People don't have ultimates as well. They have a narrow threat from Steel. It's not going to be enough at all. Looking over towards the NRG side, yeah, they don't really have ultimates either, but the showstopper will be more than enough. Double Bucky, you better hope that's enough for 100 Thieves. They have to set up for very close angles. They've doubled up in Hookah again, hoping NRG walk up close.
NRG taking their time, though, on this, as you would normally figure. Shanks, again, using a lot of his utility to clear out Hookah, of which he actually does find significant amount of damage into Nitro, who, of course, will use the healing orb to get up. Asuna up close, though. Does Shanks expect maybe a second player nearby? The blast pack comes out, will push that player back, but there will be no contest, and we go to a minute 10 with a 5v5.
Drone is going to see EU. Does just expire in time as well, so EU doesn't need to fire too many shots. But they've confirmed that someone's here. I think that's actually pretty important for NRG. NRG look like they want to lean towards A, so just revealing that they still have members towards B, even a recon coming through, just keeps 100 Thieves interested. You see the 3 members of 100 Thieves still just holding on to B. NRG have now got a little bit of a window to play with to try and make something happen on A. They would have to push through soon. They got to get past all the steals, traps, and all of that. And they reveal that now, and this is where they go for the hit.
Blind showstopper connects onto Steel. It was just trying to be used to clear off the quad box, and Ethan in a cheeky corner could not find anything with it. NRG 5v2 now as EU finds the kill. They want to go to a set. 2 kills away from doing it. It all rests onto both Nitro and Hiko. And you've got a judge in the hands of Nitro. It would look to be an AR or a Guardian. No, it's a Bucky. I'm just kidding. It's just a weird skin. Makes his way forward. Does he see 1? A lot of damage. Finds the kill. That should be a weapon collected. Clears the tight corner. Nitro will be the one with the weapon in hand. Daps, though, finds the immediate kill. It would have to be a 1v4. No chance. We'll see you on a set. 13-7 for NRG, and this one has the legs to go to all 3.
It's looking like a bang-over series. In fact, I mean, that's an understatement. It's looking like a bang-over series after the first map, Haven. And NRG here I mean, they felt like they probably could have won